are you government officials. Government officials. Tell me what you want to tell me. And you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. I mean, here that look, they are asking you, people telling you they will pay you from now to January. They will pay all your salary. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Transport ministry, one of the descent on you, but the chairman said we should disengage. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to this, to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate against the interests of this government. Want to say to you, be forewarned. It was so good that the chairman intervened immediately. We were prepared to unmask the shame because it's painful when young people, old people, who go on this cautious sun and vote for this president and stay bare in mind and remain hopeful. Some of you who accidentally become privileged, accidental privileged characters, we got no issue with you, but we want you to have a conscience of responsibility that you must be able, you should be able to understand that there's something got you here, you must be loyal to it. To be in transport ministry and be availing yourself to the detriment of this government, you need to be forewarned. The next time we're not forewarn you, next time we're not forewarn you, the masses of our people will have a solution for some illnesses. You have to have some medicine for it. Sure. Want to save the transport? Thankful, grateful to the chairperson who has said he takes siege of this matter because we have dossier of information. Dossier of information. I've virtue as Secretary General of the party and in collaboration with the biggest intelligence officer, the youth chairperson, I've furnished our offices with a plethora of information. And that's why we want you to be forewarned.
His party.
Chairman, party remains supreme, we will not disobey. We will not disobey. For those of you in foreign ministry, very soon, we counting on you. All of you in justice ministry, all of the ministries. In justice ministry. This time, it's about life and death. We want to be very clear on you. We have responsibility for a cross-section of young people in this country who have labored and dedicated their heart and soul to the populous people revolution. We owe them clearly a protection of their effort. And you come and gamble, you must be mistaken. So I want to say thank you. All of those people, we are saying to you, you should work in accordance. We're asking you, there will be a program when you from Bassa go to Bassa, when you from Lofa go to Lofa, when you from Bon Country go to Bon Country. And don't ask us say what we're telling you. It's a collective responsibility. If you have benefited from this arrangement for the last 6 years, it is incumbent upon you to tell us that you hear your grandfather flip-flopping. After today, the story shall change. I want to say to you that look, Each and every one of them. Chairperson, we have the desk here presided over at the Youth League. You come at the party headquarters. We know you. If you refuse to be known, we pursued you and know where you are seated. And so that all we asking for you, if you live in a community, we want to ask you whether the people in the community know you. And we asking you not just the community, you should retreat to your respective villages. We make you, we give you the opportunity not because of you, it's because of what you represent. If you fail to represent what we want of you, we want to say to you, we have to change. There have to be a different touch. Let us just show our people and our brothers in this executive committee, leadership in hell and Chebemoma Kimolu. I want to say to all our partisans, if you are ever disappointed, if you are ever let down, I want to stand as a secretary to openly apologize to you.
Stormy and everything is coming to collapse. She said, you'll be calm, it will be okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
John Weir, in the first time he had made about 20 music. Hello? Hello? John Weir has made about 20 music. John Weir gets on the plane anytime he wants to go and stays anytime he wants to come back. And John Weir said it is okay. Yeah. If you give him second turn, he will make 30 music because he will say you were enjoying the first set of music. The only thing, however, John Weir has told me, without speaking to me directly, that Dylan, you please look at me, Samuel to and then putting me on a hostage. You look at me and know my body language saying your man put me back over there. I beg you. Let's rescue the man.
Yeah.
Two armed robbers enter a couple's home, tie the wife, tie the children, and say, Mr. My friend,
we are implementing to the fullest. President, we are over the last few years, especially in the 2020 by-elections, although people got support for the president, even though they were opposition. They might not do that for anybody or they Joseph boycott. It was a close government that couldn't deal with the people they know. And everybody knows that. President Weir has always gone beyond the ordinary. When you talk, you say, oh, we need everybody, let everybody come. I even want to start calling some names, or then I was making noise yesterday that got support for the president. That they are elected today. And his point was, not even Jim Bunny won. All of them got money for the president. That's what they some parts of Montreal, street lights everywhere. The road correct, smooth. The only issue is going in and coming out. 2 small sections. And we are working on making sure that it's done. Where was Honorable Joseph Boyka as vice president when the Banga to Manikoma Road were not done in 12 years? He cannot rescue your own people. They used to take you days to go to local. Me, I come from that. So then you can drive almost half a local the road paved. So which one you rescuing now? In fact, you don't have a woman in local. The womb is across the border. And then you got here where you don't come from. Go ask the people for his house in Lofa County. You know, we need to be careful. There's some things we want to talk about. We're talking now because we need the political scene. And they're looking quiet. Another thing is, as a leader, if you want to talk about rescue, you must get involved. Whole day, President, we are up and down. From one road to another road, to another camp, to another market, improving the lives of our people. What is the record of improving the lives that the former vice president has? In the fact that Madam Salif gave him plenty of leverage. He has sectors that he has control over.
Pastor, while out of the country, did you in any way campaign for the imposition of sanction on this government?
I did.
You did?
I did. I'm a big champion for sanctions. Who broke the word that sanctions were going to come? I did. In March of 2021, when I played the audio from Congressman Christmas from that program they had, that event, that seminar, symposium. And yes, I was, and I still am a big supporter of sanctions, on targeted sanctions. Yes.
Targeted sanctions.
On individuals in the government. And there will be more sanctions coming.
Were you shocked, for example, that the U.S. government didn't release a list of sanctioned officials as widely predicted in December?
We knew they were going to sanction on December 9th. I said they were going to. And on December 9th, what happened? The American ambassador issued a statement and said, today we'll not be releasing new names. But in the coming months, go read it further. He said it. In the coming months, we will be releasing we will be announcing new sanctions on a need-to-do basis. The American ambassador said that. It's there. You can read it. So there will be more sanctions.
I'm trying to pull that statement. I hope I can pull it up.
There will be more sanctions.
Let's go back to your support for Joe Boakai and
legitimate financial institutions around the world. Corruption is a social danger because it feeds organized crime. It destroys nation states. It imperils opportunities, particularly for women and girls. It facilitates environmental degradation, contributes to human trafficking, and undermines whole communities. It destroys the future. Corruption is a radicalizer because it destroys faith in legitimate authority. It opens up a vacuum which allows the predators to move in. And no one knows that better than the violent extremist groups who regularly use corruption as a recruitment tool. Corruption is an opportunity destroyer because it discourages honest and accountable investment. It makes businesses more expensive to operate. It drives up the cost of public services for local taxpayers, and it turns a nation's entire budget into a feeding trough for the privileged few. And that is why it is imperative that the business community of the world starts to demand a different standard of behavior, that we deepen the fight against corruption.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Let me say welcome to the Diaspora Talk. This is where we discuss issue of concerns. This is where we discuss issue affecting our country, Liberia. I would like to say welcome to the Diaspora Talk. Today is the 4th of June, 2023. So if you are watching off from Liberia, let me say good afternoon because it should be 12:37 there in Liberia. If you're watching up in the US, let me say good morning to you. If you're there in China, let me say good evening. South Korea, let me say good evening because it is evening hours right now in most Asian countries. So let me say welcome to the Diaspora Talk. Good morning to you, CEO Masako. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gabriel. Good morning. How are you? It's great to be here this morning.
Okay, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So let me say welcome to the show. This is where we unbiasedly discuss issue of concern. If you are listening to us from Liberia, let me say welcome to the Diaspora Talk. If you are listening to us from the US, good morning to you. And we are in June. I mean, 50% of the year has already been wiped out. And right now we are left with 6 more months. Very soon we'll be stepping into October, which will be one of the crucial months of Liberia. I mean, that's when people will go to the polls to exercise their democratic franchise. So let me just say good morning again to all our panelists. Let's take this break. We'll be right back. We'll just take this. Team Matters do some technical adjustments, something like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Legitimate financial institutions around the world. Corruption is a social danger because it feeds organized crime. It destroys nation states. It imperils opportunities, particularly for women and girls. It facilitates environmental degradation, contributes to human trafficking, and undermines whole communities. It destroys the future. Corruption is a radicalizer because it destroys.
Those are you government officials. Government officials. Tell me what you want to tell me. And you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. I mean, here that look, they are asking you, people telling you they will pay you from now to January. They will pay all your salary. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Transport ministry, one of the descent on you, but the chairman said we should disengage. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate.
Okay, gentlemen, I would like to say welcome once again. I think we have to check our devices. There's something from somewhere. So once again, I would like to say welcome. Timas, what's up, man? How's everything?
Well, for this morning, I think everything down from my end is good. It's good to be here. We are excited to be back for another edition on the Diaspora Talk this Sunday. I also want to welcome all of the panelists who are here and those who are on their way. But yeah, on the overall, everything is looking pretty great. Thank you, Gabriel.
Okay. How's the weather, man? You already took out the jacket and the sweaters?
Yeah, it's hot down here. We
I think.
kind of enjoying the weather now.
Okay. Timas, you want to do some technical adjustment? Maybe your internet is somehow glitching. Okay, let's just go to our advisor then, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what's up, man? Man, you looking cool. I think the camera make it already. What's up?
Yeah, I'm still working on it though. But all is well from my end. Yeah, the place is just hot, So we're just trying to get adjusted to it.
Yeah, okay. Christina, how is Canada? How's everything?
Sunny. The weather is sunny. It's
What's the time?
It's
Okay.
6:45 a.m.
6:45 a.m. So let me say thank you so much. I mean, that's been so committed. Waking up early this morning to be on the platform. I would like to say thank you so much. And thank to all our committed, you know, all our committed panelists. Let me say thank you so much. So Timas, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Just kick it off from your end. But it seems that you're having some technical problem there. So we can just take some break and we just try to settle out some things and come back. Yeah.
It's my 1 minute. Is my internet still glitching? Because
Now you are okay, but it's just that there, I mean, there's a feedback. I'm hearing myself.
okay.
Yeah.
To Liberia now, where tongues have been set wagging after the defendants in a high-stakes drug smuggling trial were acquitted following a trial. That's despite what many, including the government, believe is compelling evidence. The 4 men were charged with smuggling $100 million worth of cocaine into the country, making it one of the largest drug-related cases in Liberia's history. The court has also ruled that the $200,000 that was seized from the men by the Liberian government be returned to them. Let's get more on this fascinating story now. I'm joined by Liberian journalist Rodney Sie. He's actually traveling in the United States at the moment and joins us from Tampa, Florida. Rodney, please give us some background into this story.
Oh, Peter, this is a very shocking time for Liberia. This is a case that when it happened a few months ago, the U.S. government had people on the scene of the arrest and the seizure of the drugs. There were witnesses, there were recordings, there were video recordings, everything. And so yesterday, when the court came down with the verdict, the whole country went in uproar because this is very shocking to everybody.
So how did the jury reach this verdict? Because I'm told that's an open secret in Liberia.
Well, prior to the jury going into session, the judge instructed them that if the verdict was not guilty, that they will have to, the government will have to pay the money back to the drug suspects. And this was a sign of influencing the jury in the sense of the justice minister, who told me this morning that he was very, very shocked about the verdict, that he's sad about it. He's going to, in fact, make an appeal to the Supreme Court and have the guys rearrested. However, we just got word an hour ago that the minister told me that they cannot find the suspects anymore. So probably they have fled the country.
Because, I mean, not all those suspects were like...
Okay, Timas, let's try to start it from your end. Hello, just try to unmute yourself and speak. Let's see whether it's okay now. Hello, Timas, are you there?
Good morning. Yes, Gabriel, good morning. Are you getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you, but
it's still not clear.
For some reason, you are clear, but just like little feedback. I'm hearing myself each time you speak. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay now. At least we can manage it. Let's manage it.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, Timas, I think you are okay now. Just quiet. Hello?
Yes. Hello, Gabriel. Am I okay?
Timas, you are audible now. I think you are okay. You can just pick it up from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, good morning and welcome to the Diaspora Talk. Good morning to our viewers from around the world. This is the Diaspora Talk. We'd like for you to share.
My one.
Marcia, were you saying something?
Yeah, I see everybody freezing except the person I just spoke.
That's despite what many.
Is everybody okay now?
It's not. You're
But
coming
is
in
it coming
broken.
from him or what?
I'm coming in broken.
Timas,
Yeah.
hello. I just want to know whether it was from my end too. So I just want to know, am I audible from your end? Oh, man.
You are
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, I think you are okay too. So you can just start the show. Let's go. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Marcia said I was breaking in, so that's why I kind of stopped. All right. So, good morning to our viewers and our listeners. This is the Diaspora Talk. We are back this Sunday morning. We will be discussing a lot of topics pertaining to Mama Liberia. And I also want to welcome our great panelists here this morning. I see everybody kind of set and ready to dive into the discussion. We have three topics we'll be discussing this morning, and the panelists will be getting into it. Also our viewers, you can call, you can send in your text. We want you to share the podcast, and we want to say welcome to our viewers, for those who are here and those who will be coming on. This morning we have our first topic that has to do with the press conference held by the U.S. ambassador on the violence that occurred at Senator Prince Johnson's church, and also the defamatory declaration that was signed by all political parties to keep the peace and have a free and fair elections. We will be looking at that. We'll also be looking at the saga between Honorable Isaac Jackson and the CEO of Spoon FM, Stato Waterspoon. We'll also be looking at that. What do you make of it? And last on our discussion today will be, we will look at the silence of Herren Pedro Costa since the running mate was announced for Honorable Joseph Numa Boakai. He's been very silent. So we will be kind of discussing those three issues and see where we can make our inputs when it comes to all of these happenings in our country. Before we start our discussion, Gabriel would like to take a mini break and be right back.
To Liberia now, where tongues have been set wagging after the defendants in a high-stakes drug smuggling trial were acquitted following a trial. That's despite what many, including the government, believe is compelling evidence. The four men were charged with smuggling $100 million worth of cocaine into the country, making it one of the largest drug-related cases in Liberia's history. The court has also ruled that the $200,000 US that was seized from the men by the Liberian government be returned to them. Let's get more on this fascinating story now. I'm joined by Liberian journalist Rodney Sie. He's actually traveling in the United States at the moment and joins us from Tampa, Florida. Rodney, please give us some background into this story.
Oh, Peter, this is a very shocking time for Liberia. This is a case that when it happened a few months ago, the U.S. government had people on the scene of the arrest and the seizure of the drugs. There were witnesses, there were recordings, there were video recordings, everything. And so yesterday, when the court came down with the verdict, the whole country went in uproar because this is very shocking to everybody.
So how did the jury reach this verdict? Because I'm told that's an open secret in Liberia.
Well, prior to the jury going into session, the judge instructed them that if the verdict was not guilty, that they will have to, the government will have to pay the money back to the drug suspects. And this was a sign of influencing the jury in the sense of the justice minister, who told me this morning that he was very, very shocked about the verdict, that he's sad about it. He's going to, in fact, make an appeal to the Supreme Court and have the guys rearrested. However, we just got word an hour ago that the minister told me that they cannot find the suspects anymore. So probably they have fled the country.
Because, I mean, not all those suspects were Liberian citizens. I think only one of the four who appeared in court was a Liberian citizen. I mean, it's got Liberians talking. It's also got the government steaming mad. What are people saying?
Well, people are shocked. I spoke to a lot of people this morning. I spoke to government officials who are very concerned that this could have a bad light on the country's image internationally. I spoke to some U.S. government officials in the embassy in Liberia who told me, frankly, that they will try to arrest these guys to leave the country. And now that they left the country, I think you're going to see a lot of international pressure on the government. This case was handled properly. In previous U.S. State Department reports, who've seen attacks on the government image regarding the judicial system, that is not fair, that judges are paying bribes, jurors are paying bribes. So this is a case where it has a lot of international repercussions for the country.
Indeed, you talk about international impacts for Liberia. Liberia is surrounded by some fragile states like Guinea and Sierra Leone that have also been known as drug smuggling routes. What are the implications of this verdict on other countries?
Well, what this says is that Liberia's judicial system
of the Farmington River Declaration last month. These signatories made a clear commitment to prevent violence, cooperate with law enforcement agencies, expand voter education, avoid inflammatory language and disinformation, and accept the official election results, among many other elements. My congratulations come, however, with a caveat. Going forward, I expect all parties to...
Okay, Timas, I think that was just it. I think we are good. You can just pick it up from your end. Are you there? Hello?
Of the Farmington River Declaration last month. These signatories made a clear commitment to prevent violence, cooperate with law enforcement agencies, expand voter education, avoid inflammatory language and disinformation, and accept the official election results, among many other elements. My congratulations come, however, with a caveat. Going forward, I expect all parties to avoid a repeat of the nonsense that we saw 2 weeks ago with the interruption of church services. The political disruption was completely unacceptable. And to the political leaders, let us say this. If your signature means anything, we depend on your honor to uphold those high standards invoked in the Declaration. So, starting from this very moment forward, come on, guys. You signed it. Now it's time to uphold it. The true test of this commitment will be the execution of a free, fair, transparent, and peaceful election process. So again, this begins right now.
T-Max, are you there? I think we should be good now.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. You are audible
Yeah.
from my end.
Okay. Yeah, I know sometimes the internet try to go a little crazy. Okay. So okay. All right. So it's good to be back. Thank you for playing that excerpt of the U.S. ambassador speech. So I want to start up with you first, Gabriel. We heard the U.S. ambassador spoke on the issue of violence at Senator Prince Johnson's church, and we also heard him speaking on the Farmington Declaration that was signed by all political parties. They all agreed that they will have a free, fair, and a peaceful elections. That is agreeing that there will be no violence on one another's side from any opposition or any other political parties, right? So we saw this happen, and these guys were not in disguise. They were right there, calling themselves Freedom for some whatever from the NPP, and going to another political leader to cause disturbance. I want to start up with you, Gabriel. What do you make of it? And also, we did not hear anything from the president. But again, I want to commend the U.S. ambassador for coming up and making a very strong statement. That's what our leader does. But it's unfortunate for our country that even the president did not even speak to that issue or other issues to talk about, peace and how political parties should conduct themselves. But we're hearing that coming from the U.S. ambassador. Go ahead, Gabriel. What do you make of that?
Okay, thank you so much, brother. I think that statement really, it was very necessary because of late, my brother, we see the high level of intolerance from various political parties and actors within the country. Let me just admit our sister in. We are seeing high level of intolerance from various political actors and also political parties within the country. It's almost saying like, from what I'm seeing from the CDC side, it's almost like if you are not with the CDC, it's almost like you are committed a crime. One thing the CDC doesn't know is that, it is your right. The CDC government, the country is not for CDC government. It is our country. So whether you are in any political party, you have the right to work in your government. You have the right. That's your right. It doesn't mean you should align with the CDC before, you can be given a job. The intolerance is so much. So the U.S. ambassador is just calling on all the political figures to keep or to stay aligned with the Farmington Agreement, the resolution they had. That, there will be no violence for any other political figure. There will be no political actor will ever put anyone in the street in order to cause chaos. But again, I could say that particular Farmington Declaration or Farmington Resolution was there upon arrival, because right after that, there was a man called General. I know one Goodrich, one political actor. He came out. He said right after the resolution, President, we are threatening him. And told him and said, you and I don't want what you can be, talking about. You put your mouth on me, but we will see. The man was on Spoon TV right after the resolution. The man felt threatened. So the president himself is not portraying the posture of peace. So that's why you see most people, that behind him are trying to copy him. Look at what Jefferson Koji said. Started threatening. They got sent Woody from transport ministry, telling him that we are planning to descend on you, but because the chairman told us not to descend on you, so we are holding back. They just want to do anything to just make you feel like you are obligated, solely obligated to the CDC party because CDC gave you a job. No, it should be about freedom of expression, freedom of association, something that the Constitution guarantee. You can't alienate people from those freedom because why? It's the constitutional right, not because you gave them job. Give people job because of expertise. Don't give them job because of political consideration. Because you are from the, you supported the CDC, so we should give you job. These are some of the things that destroy the country. You're giving job to people based on political consideration. So you are putting square peg in the round hole. Once the person support the CDC, the person, will be given a job. It's not about expertise. It's not about merit. It's all about what? Support, support, support. Once you sing the slogan, you go under the sycamore tree, you able to chant, they give you job. So people who do not align with the political ideology, they want to find their way and align with other political party, you threaten them. And these are signs of chaos. At least President Weah should come out and try to speak. Look at the thing that happened to Prince Johnson church. President Weah has never said anything. He has never said anything. Look at how bluntly the U.S. ambassador put it. He said that nonsense. I'm not missing my word. I'm quoting him directly. We can even play it here. He said that nonsense that happened to a church where they went and disturbed a whole service, we should never see it anymore. There should be no repeat of it. The man himself had so much. He had so much. He's angry. That's why you could see him, talking so, blatantly like that. He's not even missing a word, or he's not even trying to try to wash a nation. So I think the president should step up. He should follow up the home. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much for that brilliant response. I'll go to you, Chris. We heard the U.S. ambassador spoke on. He had. I think it was long overdue. We expected the president to speak on those issues, and unfortunately, we had the the U.S. ambassador himself coming up to speak to the Liberian people on something that the president's supposed to be doing. He spoke about the Farmington Declaration and also the violence that occurred at Senator Prince Johnson's church. What do you make of that speech, Chris? And what do you think the president of Liberia should be doing now moving forward as we are getting closer to election and campaign season? Go ahead.
Good morning to all. I just want to say his speech was very timely. It was engaging. It was relevant because am I audible?
Yeah, audible, but I'm hearing. It's like, can we just mute ourselves? I'm hearing it's a few.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yes, so the speech was timely, it was relevant, and it was just to the point. Because from what we see from Prince Johnson Church, what we saw from Prince Johnson's Church is a clearer indication that the ruling establishment don't want a free, fair, and transparent election. And if Liberia that came from us 15 years of civil crisis will dive into electoral violence, it means we are not serious at all. That actually indicates that Liberia want to go back down to where we came from. And seeing everybody silent about the whole situation, no governmental official had ever spoken, including our president, the higher authority. It's a promotion to those guys that what they did was necessary. I miss Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf so much because she would just to the point speak about it and say what she mean, what's her take on it, and she would be done with it. If even from her party, she would still speak about it. That's how a mature leader behave. So what the CDC government is doing is irresponsibility. They don't want to take our responsibility. They don't want to grow up from this violence and thing to see how best Liberia can one again become a free and safe country for our people. There are a lot of things going on and nobody talking about it. It's a promotion that I can do it. See Jefferson Coach's speech. Jefferson Coach spoke like he's the man of the time. I can threaten anybody at any time and they will lose their job. No one does that. No mature leader does that and goes scot-free. Why will you feel that somebody shouldn't have a freedom of association? Is that fair to the country? Is that fair to our people? People work in Eric Johnson's Sirleaf government, they were seditious. Like the former minister Eugene Nambe. Eugene Nambe was a minister in Eric Johnson's Sirleaf government, and he served. He was still a seditious that used to go on the Sakimo tree and discuss issues about CDC. Not once, not twice that anyone ever threatened him. And other people did the same. They were working in the Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. So Madam Ellen Johnson said it after post-war Liberia. She set a platform that every leader should proceed. No corruption was one of her weaknesses, but yes, still security was her top priority. Why do people now be of that nature to other people that it associate with any political party, taking information, carrying it to the political party, you will be dismissed from your position. Like seriously, I'm so disappointed, and no one speaking about it. I rest my case this morning.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that. I will go over to the chair, the board chair. Mr. McKay, I'm up to you.
Can you keep it last 2 months, please, man?
Okay, all right. I respect that. Let me go to Emmanuel Dinuka. I know he's all set and ready. Emmanuel, we heard the U.S. ambassador spoke on a lot of issues, the Farmington Agreement and also the declaration of the Farmington and the violence that occurred on the senator's church. And we still have other leaders in the CDC, like Jefferson Koji. We heard his speech just recently, threatening other government officials because they're not being loyal to party or whatever his reason was for sending those threats to them. But I want to know from you, the president did not speak on none of those issues. He's right in the country. I know he's fully aware of everything that is unfolding. What do you think is going on? Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. You know, as it takes now, Liberians, we are in the shadow and the valley of death.
Really?
You know, when Jesus, let's say Jesus put it this way, he said, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you listen to the president, he comment on the issues of Senator Johnson. When Senator Johnson left his party or his political marriage, he came out with what is in him, what he think about Frank Johnson. He said it on his pulpit, and it was very clear. People were clapping. That is it. So in Liberia now, if you take CDC cap, CDC t-shirt, and just walk on the street and kill any opposition partisan or any human being, you will go free. You will go scot-free, because that is the interest of the president.
To kill?
When people, when people went to Senator Prince Johnson Church, it was not in the darkness. This was not in the darkness. It was very clear, and it was not without camera. It was in front camera, and the image of those people was not hidden. The image was very clear. The boys called their name, they called their political party, they called their position. So we don't even need a town chief to even come and judge the case. We only need them to assemble to the police station for the president or the leadership, the police, to do their job. We saw nothing like that because it is the interest of the president that people should go there and disturb the church. We saw Jefferson coaching that, I will put it this way, let's say, how they call it, scoreboard, something like a scoreboard, because scoreboard and city police move together. Standing on the press conference, speaking to justice ministry of that type of higher discipline, speaking to transport ministry, people of that type of higher discipline, telling them that he's coming. That is the interest of the president. That's why he's not saying anything, because it's his interest. It is with it, let's say, his agenda that people should go against people, anybody who against him. And this is not the way, CEO, that we will run a country. We have to run Liberia with inclusiveness. We have to open up to people. You will see Syrian today will come on and say, oh, what you want the president to say, what you is not the president doing, and he's very smart in this Development Act. He will always exonerate himself. That is a concern. If the D is done, I exonerate myself. And let me tell you something, CEO. There is nothing, no wickedness, no falsehood under the sun that can go scot-free. People will always pay the price. And if President Weah sit down and allow people to get on the street, people to do bad to other people, and then we will see foreign countries who not supposed, their job is not to be telling us things like this. We expect the highest officer in the land to come out and say, look, you do the arrest, you bring those people. Who are those people to the church? Why they did this? Let the country see when you commit crime, how they can deal with you. That is what they call law and order. But see where we are now. You see, but I will stop right here, and then the other panelists will move on.
Thank you. Before I move to Mercy, the Iron Lady, to all the panelists, please click the share button if you forgot. I did forget, and I just did, and I think it kind of helping a lot of people to come on. So if you just forgot, just please do that before. And also to our viewers too, please hit the share button, share the podcast as we continue the discussion. All right, Mercy, I'm back to you. So you are one of the staunch supporter of the CDC, which I respect.
And I'll forever be.
Thank you. So I'm here to you. The president of Liberia, President George Manneh Weah, he saw the violence that erupted at the Senator's Church a few Sundays ago. He said nothing about it. He did not come out to say anything concerning what happened there. We also know that there was an agreement, a declaration at the Farmington Hotel when they all met to agree to have a peaceful election and respect all political parties. But this is happening under his watch. We have had so many incidents from the LU flogging of students, the demonstration at the embassy where people got hurt badly and by seditions, and there was nothing done about it. There was no investigation. And like Emmanuel said, as long as you wear a CDC bearer and go anywhere and do something bad, that's going to go scot-free. You'll walk home and sit like nothing happened. Is that how our country's supposed to be ran? Marcy, you support the CDC. What do you make of all of these chaos? And the president is not speaking, and we have to have the U.S. ambassador coming up to speak on these issues. Go ahead. Are you there, Marcy? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, are you there? Did you hear me? Chris, what's going on?
Nothing much.
I'm seeing everybody leaving. Well, somebody plays a call
Yeah, somebody place a call on the platform, on the
on the group chat, right?
chat.
Well, I don't know what happened, but I expect the panelists to come back. So we're going to still continue, Chris, with the discussion because I was about to go to Mercy. I know she supports the CDC, but over time, Chris, we saw the UL, the students, how they were treated by the representative Akaris Gray when he led men. He himself walked there to try to brutalize students. We saw the demonstration that took place at the U.S. Embassy when some seditionists went there to disrupt the demonstration, and I think people got hurt very badly. When then we seen the disruption at Senator Prince Johnson's church, and these guys identified themselves from the NPP, the National Patriotic Party. And the National Patriotic Party is a member of the CDC, the coalition. So basically, these parties that is associated with the ruling establishment, like Emmanuel said, they can do anything and you know and get away with it. What do you make of it?
I see total gangsterism in the country. I see the party like a group of gang that believe they can do anything. They are lawless people. They can engage anybody in any manner. They can even, as Emmanuel said it blunt, that they can even go and shoot at somebody and they be free and what have you. There's a lot of things going on. Why would people go demonstrate?
Mayor,
You know how many times people demonstrated during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime? His drug classes, with the children, Akaras Gray healing himself with that, and you feel he can get re-elected
Mayor,
because
please re-enter. There's something here.
he
Timas,
can be.
Yeah.
you didn't experience any interruption from, let's say,
No, because I
end?
canceled. I canceled the call. Maybe you accepted. That's why you went off. I did
Somebody
cancel.
calling. I don't know who. I don't know who is that calling in the group chat there.
So I canceled the call. That's why we didn't go off. But I think you guys who answered
But
your
the
went
whole
off.
show,
No, Chris and myself was here.
sure.
Like you
But the whole
guys
show
just
was
started
off.
going up. It was on. Chris and I was here. We're talking. We've been talking. Y'all came back and Mel's talking.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Must
Yeah,
have
I think you
got,
guys answered it. I didn't answer. I canceled it.
I got kicked out of the studio. Anyway, that's cool. Sorry about it.
Yeah,
Sidetrack.
it was. I don't know who did that, but yeah, it was. I didn't answer it.
It just scaring. It's just scaring because those sagas gearing down towards electoral violence that we need to strongly discourage. So I don't know what the president and his cabinet ministers are really thinking about. I don't know what they think. I don't know what is actually going on because these things happen. Akaris Gray is part of the government. He's part of the ruling establishment. He went at the UL campus. He did what he did, and people never spoke about it. They never discouraged the art. The same with the Jefferson County. No one has spoken. No one has ever discouraged the art. And so many things that need to be discouraged are not being discouraged. We just need to pray for our country, because what we see, the country is going downward when it comes to freedom of speech, freedom of association. We feel, and people feel that if you in this party, you shouldn't affiliate with this party. That's a sign of irresponsiveness. Because if you are responsible, you will know that every mature adult is entitled to his or her view, is entitled to his or her affiliation in association. So I don't know what is actually going on. I'm so scared for my people back home. I'm so very much freaking afraid, because I don't know where this will end up to.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. That was Christina photo right there from the great country of Canada. I'm back to you, Mercy. Sorry to our viewers. We had a little technical breakdown and we had some of our panelists falling off. But I think everything is back on track. So keep following. And we are here to give you our opinion on how we feel about the situation back in our country. Back to you, Mercy. I hope you can turn your cameras on. Your cameras are
Yes,
off.
I'm here.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, Mazo.
Okay. So the question goes back to you. You are a supporter of the ruling establishment, the Coalition for Democratic Change. We've seen the level of violence that have been taking place in the country. We saw Akaris Gray going to the University of Liberia, manhandling students, and we saw the demonstration at the U.S. Embassy. They had some seditionists who went there and disrupted that demonstration and beat up those students, and people got hurt very badly. That was all over the news. The president did not speak to none of those violence. A few Sundays ago, they got some guys who identified themselves as something from the NPP, and they went to Senator Prince Johnson's church and disrupted and almost caused a level of violence that people had to escape. And they did not hide themselves. Yes, they were right there. They had press conferences and said they are from the ruling NPP. And the NPP is associated with the CDC, forming the Coalition for Democratic Change. So all of these things are happening in the country. We are getting closer to election. The president is right there. He has said nothing about none of these violence that are taking place. And we had the U.S. ambassador who have to come back and use some harsh language as nonsense, and speaking to the Liberians and the political parties, almost like the president doing the president's job. You support this president, you support this party. And what do you make of all of this? Go ahead, Mercy.
Thank you, Mazo. Thank you, Timas, for having me. First of all, before I answer those questions that were posed to me, I would like to ask in the opposition camp. When your representative Yeka Koluba is misbehaving in the country, where Yeka Koluba walk in the streets of Morovia, insulting the president, insulting cabinet members, what do your oppositions do? The question goes to everybody who is against CDC, who is not in support of CDC. What do y'all do? When Koluba takes the street of Morovia, stand on cars, abuse President Weah's mother, abuse the women of Liberia, because when a representative is abusing the president's mother, that abuse goes to all the women around the world. What do your opposition do? If you can answer that question, I will go ahead and answer those questions that you are asking me. And I want to iota piece of evidence to VP Boycott sending people to Prince Johnson Church. I need that evidence. Otherwise, I will not speak to that, because I don't speak to gossip.
It's not VP Boycott, please.
VP Joel Howard Taylor. Thank you for that correction. I want you guys to tell me, when Yeka Koluba takes the street of Morovia, what do the opposition do? You guys applaud him, you clap for him when he's insulting the women of Liberia, women around the world, causing President Weah's mother, insulting Buffer Chima's mother, insulting cabinet member wives and mothers and sisters. What do your oppositions do? If one person will answer me, I will go ahead and answer those questions that you guys are asking me.
You are muted, Timas. You are muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Mercy, I will get back to you. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Yeke Koluba and what he does and things he say. I'm not. I'm one of those who never support the way he acts. Yes, he sometimes speak truth to power, but some of his languages are so
But
honorable.
insulting. You call that truth to power? Truth to power is peaceful. Truth to power is obedience.
You ask
and
a
you call
question.
that truth to power?
I'm telling you, he speaks truth to power. At times, some of his choice of words are just not appropriate, and that's why I don't support. But other than that, he's a guy who rarely speak against a lot of stuff that the president is doing. Unlike sometimes his choice of words are very inappropriate.
An action is warrant.
Right.
Going to attacking people, demonstrating, and disrupting. It's his action. Yeke Koluba action. Actually, contract is directly influencing what is going on within the CDC-led government.
You're not asking the question that I asked. Instead, you are reiterating my question. Answer my question, lady. If you answer my question that I asked, I will come on to answer the question that was posed to me. Rather, you are not answering my question. If you're complaining that Jefferson Koji is a killer, you're giving me chance. Let me go ahead. Chris, you have your time. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, but we can't have a back and forth. You got to give us your input, whether you support or not, how you think and how you feel, because we can't keep going back and forth.
But I asked my question and you said you will get back to me. So until you get back to me, I'll go ahead.
I did answer your question. The comparison you're making is not giving you a comparison. Yeke Koluba has not gone anywhere to cause violence or hurt people and maybe almost kill people. He has not.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me hold you to that. Yeke Koluba have not. After me. Yeke Koluba have not gone anywhere. He have not gone anywhere to disturb, right?
No.
He have not gone anywhere to disturb.
I've not
Chima,
seen.
can I say something?
You can remind me. You can
Chima,
remind me of the incidents. But I know he stands and insult. Insulting had nothing to do with people leading people to places to go and cause violence. That's a whole different thing from someone who stands and they insult.
Okay, the last time I checked, I have never seen a written document. I mean, documentary evidence to Jefferson Koji being an assassin. I have not seen that. I have never seen any written document being that Jefferson Koji kills people in Liberia for President Weah. Until I can see that written documents that makes it or evidence to the whole world, I will believe. But for now, I can never believe anything opposition put out there for Jefferson Koji. Okay? And Askara Gray, can I talk, please? Askara Gray went to the US campus. He never killed anybody. He never beat anybody.
Yes,
the ruling party, the oppositions went against each other. And we know what happened when the youth meet, hateful youth meet. What happened? Violence takes place. He wasn't involved into violence. We all follow these things on Facebook. We see them live. We see them live. Atara's Gray did not give any go-ahead for students to be beaten. He never did that. I want to see the written documents of that.
There were senators.
It's not misleading.
The ruling party that went against Akaros for that action from his own
Prince
party.
Johnson said Joe Howard sent people to his church, just a piece of iota of evidence. And I will stand by that. I stand against violence, but with no written documents. So that I cannot back false information. Because people will always want to bring down the ruling party. I know what opposition can do. I know what ruling party can do. I know politics. That's what I'm going into politics. So I'm not going to speak on that.
So what do you make of the president's silence on everything? All of the incidents. What do you make
even
of that?
in this great United States that we are, whenever violence goes on in the street, does Joe Biden jump on the same day and come and speak to violence? Joe Biden sat down and think what to tell the public. What do you want for George Weah to do? What do you want for George Weah to do? He will speak.
I say all of the major violence in this country, I know presidents have spoken to them. All of it. George Floyd.
When George Weah is giving speech and he mentioning a peaceful Liberia, those things don't click to the Liberians, man? You guys sit there and fight each other, and you expect Judge Weah to come and be telling old men and women to bring peace in the country?
He do not give speech on nothing
He
that
has never
happened in the
given
country.
speech.
He goes to church and sit on his pulpit and say a bunch of stuff there to people and point fingers and throw his like a girl. He does not have a press conference. Remind me, when was the last time President Weah had?
You see your perception? You see the perception?
No, but it's
You
true.
see the perception?
Remind me, when was the last time President Weah had a press conference on any major thing in our country? From the Red Saga, even when the country has nothing.
The shortage of rice, he talked. That's not true.
Where?
He spoke about it. The shortage of rice, he spoke. He spoke to the Liberian people. Y'all who watching, y'all talk about it. He spoke. All the opposition will not see anything that President Weah do.
He embarrassed himself here. He embarrassed himself here when he was asked, when journalists asked him, and he had no clue what was going on in the country. And he said, "Oh, guys,
embarrassed himself in what way?"
Yes. So no, when you support somebody, support them with facts. This gentleman had
listen to me. When you talking about rice shortage, do you know what Liberian people do to themselves? Liberian business people keep rice in Freeport because they want to cheat, and they're going to tell the Liberian people there is no rice. I have my mother who have a store. I know all those things what Liberian people do just to cheat and give money. Liberian people are their own trouble. Liberian people, if the Liberian people can do away with pets, we will. Why am I talking and people keep talking from the start? It's not intellectual. We're not going to get there. If you guys are talking, I'm quiet. I don't talk. So if you can give me a chance, there is no way I can continue talking because I don't like talking noise.
No, you are not disrupted. I said you have the time. Go ahead, but you have limited time. You have spoken for a long time. Go ahead.
Liberian people are there. Most of them are their problem.
Because you can't defend it.
I'm not running around nothing. I'm not running. At the time they had rice shortage in Liberia, what happened? Rice was in Freeport. I saw tons of rice that I could not even end with my eyes in Freeport. What was happening? You ask your business people. What you want for President we have to do? Even if this man is doing his best is not sin. His best is, you think I'm going to sit down and waste my voice? Because Liberian people can never recognize. The hate is there, so there is no way you guys can bypass this thing. Everything he does is nothing to the Liberian people, to some Liberian people. But trust me, with all these hate, we're going for second round. That's a period. Okay? We're going to get there. Everything President we are this and that when we can call over misbehaving moreover, you guys are applauding him, clapping women, enjoying him, insulting other women. And you all want to say President we have to come and speak to Yaka call about misbehavior. That's a no-go.
That was not the topic, Mercy. We're talking about.
That's a topic. That's the same thing. Yeah. That's violence. Even in the Senate, in the House, he misbehaved there, and we see them. Sometimes they put him out of the House because he created chaos among his friends. That's not the same violence. That's not the same violence. Violence there. Ways you get distinguished there.
Thank you, Mercy. We gotta move on. Good morning, Kathleen. That's our co-host. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, fellow panelists. Good morning, people of Liberia. Good evening, good afternoon from where you are right now. Thank you, Mr. Master.
Yeah, I think you just got here and saw the platform is hot as fire, though. We have this iron lady here from CDC. Got the platform fire.
Yeah, T-Max.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to say. I wanted to say something to our sister Marcy. You see, we shouldn't contradict things, and from the view of people who watching us. You see, if you talk about Yeke Koluwa, his action is no different from the image of George Weah. In a sense, how can you make a person contrariable to truth? The reaction from President Weah himself, he inborn tendency, what he moved with is what makes Yeke Koluwa then to come out and do those things. You will see Jefferson Koji, you see people killing people. It's the president, the image of the president, what he encouraged, what he gave
which Jefferson Koji could sue somebody for tarnishing his reputation.
Listen to me. If you want to say something, you ask to say something, then they give you
Mando,
the chance.
we gotta move on. We
Yeah.
got only a few
So
That
seconds.
person could kill the
what I'm
person,
saying
do
in
this.
short to her
Bunch
is
of
this,
lies.
right? Whether opposition insult people, opposition kill people, opposition do anything, the fact of the matter is the president, the highest office in the land, give right to people to do all these things.
Thank you. Thank you, Manuel. Yes, to Prince, the
Jefferson
line,
Koji know how to do. He know what to do to some of you people in Labro.
we got to keep it professional now. The lines
It's
will
professional,
be
of course.
yeah, but we can't be undercutting people. The lines will be open soon, so hang in there, watch the show. We will be opening the lines soon. So I'll go to Cadman. Cadman, welcome again. We had the U.S. ambassador press conference that was very. Those were strong statements and strong words that he gave during his press conference. And for the very first time, it's shocking that the U.S. ambassador will be doing the job of the president of Liberia. We had all of these violence and incidents in the country, and the president have not spoken to any of those situations. And what was even unfortunate, they all went to Farmington and had a declaration that was signed by all of them, agreeing to have a peaceful and fair election, in a country that, all political parties agree, and signed this document. And we saw what happened to Senator Johnson's church a few Sundays ago. So I think he referred to it as nonsense. And he said he don't want to see that happening again. And since the occurrence of that incident, the president have never said a word on national radio, had a press conference at all. So what do you make of the situation now that we are heading into elections? I know campaign will soon be opening up. There will be more heated debate, more heated arguments. And what do you foresee, or how do you expect the president to conduct himself in these times? Go ahead, Mr. Co-host.
CEO, for the sake of the audience, can we just play the ambassador voice just 1 minute, then we can get to comment?
Okay, I think Carmen took a break. Yeah, play that excerpt, Gabriel.
Of the Farmington River Declaration last month. These signatories made a clear commitment to prevent violence, cooperate with law enforcement agencies, expand voter education, avoid inflammatory language and disinformation, and accept the official election results, among many other elements. My congratulations come, however, with a caveat. Going forward, I expect all parties to avoid a repeat of the nonsense that we saw 2 weeks ago with the interruption of church services. The political disruption was completely unacceptable. And to the political leaders, let us say this. If your signature means anything, we depend on your honor to uphold those high standards invoked in the Declaration. So, starting from this very moment forward, come on, guys. You signed it. Now it's time to uphold it.
Okay, you signed it. Now it's not to uphold it. That's the Farmington Declaration or the Farmington Resolution.
Go ahead, Mr. Cool.
It's very disheartening. I feel from where the ambassadors come from. Being a colonial
Ambassador that go. Yeah, man.
Say that again.
I say we can't be doing that.
Let's do this thing interactively.
I say we can't be doing that.
I get you that if you are joking.
Yeah, man. Ambassador that la brepo is shaky. Yeah, man.
I say we can't
Go
do
ahead.
that. No, we can't do that, please. Carmen, go ahead.
So as I was saying, it's kind of disheartening from where he come from. It sounds almost like a statement of George Bush back in the days with President Taylor's situation. The thing is that, from days of age, America being the one of the most the highest donor to Liberia in whatever form or shape when it comes to the Liberia situation. And with the, looking at lower investment they have made over the period, we shouldn't be going the route in which we are going right now. You know what I mean? Seeing stakeholders going, signing papers, saying that, oh, we're going to desist from violence because of the electoral season and all things, and see the same thing happening. It's frustrating. Moreover, the president, who is the overall head, should come in at this time because he was part of that particular process at Flemington Hotel to say something. Even if his investigation is ongoing of whosoever that did the act, the fact is that he's the one, like the father in the home, everybody look up to, supposed to say something. So when I hear the ambassador saying that, it's frustrating. You know how we work tirelessly in this space, taxpayer money going down there for developmental purpose, and people just misusing it. Who want to go back to Liberia again on peacekeeping? Who want to send a children down there to go die to save grown people? You know what I mean? We're not sure, we are showing no sign of maturity. So it's frustrating, honestly speaking. Ain't nothing more someone can say about this thing because it's glaring. We should be a responsible nation to handle our own affairs. You know what I'm saying? They can give you mattress, they will force you, they will bring somebody for you to lay down and pay with it. No, come on now. You should be able to lay yourself down in bed. But you know, it's frustrating, man. I myself feel the frustration, and that's the reason why I'm even lack of words to even express what's going on about our situation in our country, honestly speaking.
Liberians are their own problem, my dear.
Thank you, Mr. Co-host. We now go to the chairman. That's our board chair right there for the Diaspora Talk. He's well seated and ready to propound on these major issues concerning Mama Liberia. Mr. Lincoln Mikey, you have heard the panelists spoken to on this issue, and we are now here with you. We listened to the U.S. ambassador press conference he had this week, and we kind of understood that that was the duty of the president, to speak when there is problem in the country, to come out to talk to the Liberian people on these kind of issues, and I mean, tell the people how the country should be run. We cannot go against one another. We can't go fighting one another. I can't grab a group and go to Mercy House and go beat on Mercy because Mercy is a sedition. I can't grab a group and go to Cadman House and go Jomo Cadman because he's a Liberty Party, you know, partisan. All of those kind of things. I think the president.
Correction. I'm not Liberty partisan. Please, for the correction.
I'm setting an example, Mr. Co-host. I'm not saying you guys are. I'm just showing an example. So I'm not really. I'm sorry. So, but my thing is, the president was supposed to speak to those issues because in that way he will reduce violence and how people think moving forward into election. Because we're getting close to campaign. Campaign is very heated, and we all know. So I think the president too now should be trying to calm things down in the country, where people can understand that you support your party, the next person support whatever they want to support, whoever they want to support, and there should be that understanding as Liberians. Unfortunately, the president have not done that. We had the U.S. ambassador coming up to speak, and what was even more frustrating, they all went to an agreement, you know, at the Farmington Hotel when they signed a declaration there for peaceful elections. So, Mr. Chair, Mr. Board Chair, what do you make of all of these saga, including the president's silence moving up to elections? Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, T-Max. I want to say good morning. I want to say good afternoon, good evening to everyone else on here, including our audience. You know, I sat here as a pounder, you know, listening from, you know, across the corridor of the platform, you know, listening to everybody, you know, takes and also monitoring the comments. But that is what I want to say, you know, I don't want to dignify the comment from the ambassador. And I just don't want to go very high, you know, discussing international politics, because at the end of the day, I would say some things, you know, that, trust me, I'll be free to say it, right? Because we live in a democratic world that you're free to, you know, freedom of expression, right? I don't want to dignify what the ambassador said. We have heard a lot. But what I want to say here today is this, right? You know, our leaders are failure to the Liberian people. The past, the present, they are all failure. Even the ones that are in waiting, they are also a failure to the Liberian people. We are seeing it already. And I just want to be very frank with the issue of Jefferson Koji. I will just make short comment on it. You know, Jefferson Koji is a very young guy, and I expect this guy to be very wise. You know, trying to work on policy, being a city mayor of a country, capital city. We see nothing new from Jefferson Koji as a young man like you and I. I think the Mary Bros who was sitting over there was much better because it came a time in Liberia, Mary Bros have a holiday. Every Saturday, everybody will make sure and clean the community. When people hear Mary Bros, you know, is coming around, everybody trying to, you know, get a dead away. You got to know what she would normally do. So this young guy, instead of trying to set up policy so that he can be a role model, trust me, Mary Bros right now, a lot of people are looking at her as a role model. How many young people are looking up to Jefferson Koji to be a role model? None. Except for those surrogates, those idiots that are attached to him. I just don't want to go very hard this morning because I'm frustrated over what I see happen in my country every time. We expect to see better policy. We expect to see Jefferson Koji engaging other African countries. What best they are doing to manage the dirt in our country. No better policy. The country gets dirty and stink day by day. All that we see from this guy is just to go on Facebook and make noise, sing foolish song, and just make noise. But their times are numbers. The opposition and Barry said we cannot even trust them. It's just like a blind leading the blind. Tomorrow, if they are elected, we already started to see what is happening right now. It is often said that when the Christmas will be good, you'll tell on the eve. What the better Eve are we experiencing right now? Nothing better from that. All that we see on social media is insult. There's one, that one, that just all of that. Childish individuals. They lack maturity. Tell me now. I'm just confused, my gentlemen. Yeah, I love my country so much. I want a better thing for my country. But this guy discourages them all day by day. What are they asking them going to school? What are they asking them acquiring all of those degrees? Just to go on Facebook and make foolish noise that your kids cannot even do they compose themselves very well than them. We pray to God Almighty that He sent our divine leader. Open the mind of the Liberian people that they will do things wisely. We will not look up to God for all the best. Not even the ambassador, not even the America. So we should not even hope on them. The best hope is in God. Trust me. The ambassador made, brother, I don't want to dignify that. I don't want to dignify that. He made statement, yeah, that was very fine because he knows the position in the country, what he's supposed to do. But I don't want to dignify that. Our leaders supposed to know better for them very self.
But then that's why
learning from these people.
But Mr. Chairman, that's why his press conference was dignified because that was the president's role. So if the president was going to do his job, I don't think he was going to do that. So it's just somebody telling you you're supposed to know better.
Brother, understand one thing today, T-Max. A lot of things that going on in our country. We don't just expect the embassy, who we consider to be the people who gave us independence, to just come and talk. You think placing on people on sanction is a solution of solving Liberia problem? The violence we see in our country every day, the corruption in our country every day. But at the same time, what happened? Let me be very frank to you guys. Violence will not end in our country easily until a government stands very strong, pass a law that people will face judgment. From early time, all that we saw in our country, more violence. Where you live right now? Where you live right now, my brother? If a criminal is arrested in a community, you will never see people beating on that person. Even if it is a speculation or alleged. What happened in our country? The moment I said this, you see people looking for tires to burn somebody. What kind of nonsense is that? Is that what we call a country? What do we expect? The government is not protecting life and property in the country. Even if the person is alleged, what do we expect? for government to intervene, get that person out, take them to court, then go through prosecution or whatsoever, judgment. When they're proven guilty, they serve their time. We see none of these things happening in our country. I'm very sick of what I see every day. And the opposition, they are not even encouraging us that we will be thinking that there will be something better tomorrow. No,
they are the biggest failure, the opposition. They are the biggest failure. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you, T-Max.
They are the biggest failure.
Mr. Chairman, before
they are the worst ever.
I say, we can do that. I don't know how to over-emphasize that. Yeah, we can, please.
Okay.
I would like to keep it professional when I'm hosting, please. Before I leave you, Mr. Chairman, what do you also make of the statement of Jefferson Koji in recent time? Looking at where we are heading, campaign is getting heated. People are associating, you be my friend, right? And invite me to your program. Doesn't mean I support the whatever party, right? But I just want to associate. Oh, McCain is in the country. He invited me to a program that is, and I just want to, sit there. Is that a crime that people should be tracking?
If Jefferson Koji were my little brother, I would take Ratty and flock him again 25 when he won. You know what I would do that? To discipline him. That's why he proved that he's not disciplined. My brother, when you are sitting mayor for a capital of a country, you are there to serve the people. You are not there to attack people. Liberia is a democratic state. Everybody has the freedom to move left or right. Even though at the end of the day, we say when the president appoints you, you have to work in the way of the pleasure of the president. That's fine. So if you realize the president is not working in the way of the pleasure of the president, don't come on social media to make nonsense statements. Go on your drawing table and say, okay, my man, we sack you. Like the nonsense that Akaras get did. If you saw the minister from telecommunication, at the UP gathering, all you have to do, call your president, who's in charge of man, let that man be sacked. But you go on social media to make statements. I don't know. Man, this guy go to school, but they know nothing.
Mr.
These guys are all dummies.
No, if even a minister was sitting at a UP program, does that even prove that he's a member of UP or he wants to go to UP? Does that? What if he was invited?
I'm just saying something, T-Max, because according to our constitution, you have to work in the will of the person of the president. So if you see this man somewhere, and within yourself, you understand that you're trying to go the other way, that's just right. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you have no confidence, if you don't have confidence anymore, working with him, the best you can do, go on your drawing table and sack him. But coming on social media, making the world to understand that because of what he did, that's why you are taking over the job. What sense that thing made, my brother? Where you see those things happening in the world? Where?
And for me, Mr. Chairman, it's so shocking to see a sitting mayor speaking almost like the president. So basically, he's speaking like he's in the head of the president. That's how I look at that statement he made, because he didn't speak to say, hey, he's saying that we will, in fact, we wanted to go after him. We.
So, gentlemen,
I'm looking at it too, like.
Okay, let me conclude on this, T-Max. Let me conclude on this because I'm trying to put more notes together here. Let me conclude on this.
Go ahead.
The thing is just very simple, right? What Jefferson Koji is doing, I don't know how that is called gross insubordinate. As a city mayor, there are a lot of things we expect you to get yourself engaged into, and not those kind of a major thing that happened in the country. Every little thing you get Jefferson Koji talking into it. The last time we heard Jefferson Koji making a statement calling on the Minister of Justice about giving report about the late Chief Justice, daughter.
Right.
That's not your area. Why you want to overshadow your boss man? So I think the president that's what cause Jefferson Koji wants to Yasaki and find somebody different in that position because he's trying to overlap function. I'll be very frank. He's trying to overlap function. But you know what? The reason also when you get a bubble leader, that's what happened.
I stand to be corrected, President. We are is not a bubble leader. I want you to retract your statement. That's not being professional. You cannot call a sitting president bubble president. You need to retract that statement. You cannot stay here and say that was a sitting president and call him Bobo president. That's not right. It's
You
being
should understand. I said you spoke. Nobody interrupted you. Please let him speak.
Tell me what you want to tell me.
You have your
And you
turn.
think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. I've been hearing a lot. They are asking me, people telling you they will pay you from now to January. They will pay all your salary. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Transport ministry, one of the descent on you, but the chairman said we should disengage. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate against the interests of this government. Want to say to you, be forewarned. It was so good that the chairman intervened immediately. We were prepared.
That was Jefferson Koji, gentlemen.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to conclude on this note, T-Max, because, you know, it is good that we make the show somehow interactive to, you know, to be all the way, you know, put out what we have inside, how we feel about it.
You don't insult the president. You don't do that. Timas, can I come here a little bit? 1 second. You can't do that to a sitting president. There is no way you can come in an open forum and insult the president. That's not right. That's not right.
I will speak. You are not interrupting, Mercy. You are not interrupting.
That's not right.
We can do this over and over again. One thing you fail to realize.
That's not right.
One thing, maybe you're not following the history of the country. You're not following what's going on in the country. Remember,
you are laughing. You too. CEO, you are laughing because you just insulted the president and you are there laughing. Oh, you see, you're laughing. You like it? You say you like it?
You making me to laugh because when you're speaking,
you're not telling me what to say.
You need to watch your words. You need to watch what you say, Maki.
And I will repeat.
You need to watch what you say.
And I will repeat. When you have a bobo president,
when you have the time to speak, you speak. That's
when you have a bobo president. When you have a bobo president, that's what happened. People plan to can be talking over you. That's exactly what will happen when you have a bobo president that can talk. You have people planning that Jefferson Koji will be making noise all around the corridor. Jefferson Koji think that maybe we are on a war front where he's speaking as a general. Maybe that's how he feels sometimes, that he's on a battleground, that he have to come and show muscle. But I just want to say to Jefferson Koji, you're a very young man. There are better things ahead of you, my brother. This government job will come and will go. You should ask your forefather, your grandfather then. They were the ones working government where they are today. Some of them are maybe doing their own personal business, or maybe some of them are getting nowhere in life anymore again, doing anything better for themselves. This government job will come and go. When you are given a time, serve well. Serve well. Let history remember you for the good, not the worst. There is nothing positive that we can even talk about Jefferson. When you hear the name Jefferson Koji, what comes to your mind? It's violent. Nothing good. The youth in that country, you should serve as a role model to them. Do you know what I mean? A young man like you being a citizen mayor for the capital city of a country, that's a plus. But you misuse it for all the 6 years. I'm so sorry for you, Jefferson Koji. Some of us will stand very tall on social media to make sure that the CDC government will never be given the time to serve for another 12 years.
Never.
And the battle will start now.
Never is a promotion, boy.
Thank you.
Never is a promotion.
Thank you very much.
Tell me what to talk.
Thank you very much. That was the board chair right there, giving his input. Before we move forward, Gabriel, we'd like to have a 1-minute break, and then we'll kick on to our next topic. Thank you.
Of the Farmington River Declaration last month. These signatories made a clear commitment to prevent violence, cooperate with law enforcement agencies, expand voter education, avoid inflammatory language and disinformation, and accept the official election results, among many other elements. My congratulations come, however, with a caveat. Going forward, I expect all parties to avoid a repeat of the nonsense that we saw 2 weeks ago with the interruption of church services.
Those are you government officials. Government officials. Tell me what you want to tell me. And you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. I mean, here and alone, they are asking you, people telling you they will pay you from now to January. They will pay all your salary. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Transport ministry, one of the descent on you by the chairman said we should disengage. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to this,
Let me see my wife, let me see my daughter. If I make any crime in country, Liberia, please punish me. I not a problem. But I know why I'm coming there. I am coming there to expose Jetty properly. And Jetty, this is I'm telling you live. If you are men, just allow me in Liberia. Let you see me on the same media platform, and I will expose you properly how much money you eat from Liberia people. I will expose you.
So somebody is asking on the live, did you bribe to get the Liberian visa to the Liberian embassy in Sierra Leone? Or you bribe to get the visa? Or you want to show us your receipts, your payment?
I will tell Nima to you. Nima not be going to tell the conscience. The two top senators of the country, including the father of the country, they want to hear from me. So I call upon all of them to join the Rescue One, JMB, Joseph M. Boyka, and whoever he will pick. If he pick Kwame, we will support. If he pick Kung, hallelujah, let everybody come out. This 28th day of the month, let everybody come out and feel this.
Okay. That's it. That
All right. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Again, we want to say welcome back to our viewers. Thanks for the comment, and we will be putting up the numbers very soon for you guys to call in and give your input. So don't go away. Stay tuned. The panelist is here to discuss the rest of the issues, and want to say again thank you for all of the interactive discussions. And sometimes it gets heated, but that's the beauty of the show. We go to the saga between Honorable Isaac Jackson and Stanton Witherspoon. We've been seeing the back and forth on social media. Honorable Jackson, who's been someone in government, who is a cabinet minister, it's unfortunate that he has to be displaying all of these information on social media and trying to, according to him, pay back Stanton whatever Stanton gave him. Stanton is accusing him of begging him for money, which is embarrassing as an honorable man. So it's been a back and forth, and we have seen all of the videos. Stanton tried to put up evidence. He tried to put up his evidence and also do pay back. And so well, I would start with Christina. Chris, you have seen the back and forth between these two gentlemen. Stanton, who is the CEO of Spoon FM, he accused Isaac Jackson of coming to the U.S. and begging him for money, and he, according to him, sent him $1,500. I think he showed a receipt of the Cash App, and when he sent the money, and Isaac Jackson was very grateful for the money and all of that. But then later on, when things turned, Isaac Jackson tried to deny that he didn't beg Stanton for money. So, what is your take, especially Isaac being someone in government? What is your take with this whole saga? Go ahead, Chris.
This saga is a clear indication that any governmental position is not a permanent position. It's a turning serve position that you can go back down to where the masses are today, that you can do anything and beg people, the same as Isaac Jackson. And coming to Isaac Jackson as an individual, I want to say he's an ignorant. He's very, very much ungrateful because he's very arrogant. Being on a talk show and talking harsh doesn't mean that you are intellectual. It goes down to Isaac Jackson. Isaac Jackson just gave a clearer indication of his character on that show because he insulted Daniel Sano, and Daniel Sano didn't say a word. When Daniel Sano tried to combat his talk, Daniel, he turned on Stanton. He turned to Stanton and started talking about Stanton private life, talking about Stanton private engagements. And he had benefited, forgetting to know that he had benefited from what he castigating today. So Stanton Waterspoon tried to remind him that you have benefited directly and indirectly, and gave instances, and even gave both his text messages from London all the way, requesting that this man should help him. He coming up being ungrateful and saying this man money is stolen, this man is disengaging the issues of discussion and going diving into somebody's personal life and a personality as an individual. That was very wrong. That was very, very wrong of Isaac Jackson. To ask support Stanton for posting the text messages that he posted because Isaac Jackson said what he said, no, I'm not in the interest of that because it's breach of confidentiality. But he was pushed or to denigrate this man, he could publicly disgracing and bring his character to disrepute. So that's my point.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that response. I will like to go to you, Gabriel. Again, we saw the saga with Isaac Jackson and Stanton Waterspoon. It's been back and forth. Stanton was Waterspoon. I mean, not but Isaac Jackson, who's serving in government. You would think he's gonna be a little professional on how things went and try to. After he knew that, you see, sometimes that's why I say it's good to keep records, right? He tried to deny what Stanton was saying, and Stanton put up a lot of evidence that yes, it was true. They had communication, they had conversation, and he did ask him for some assistance, and Stanton did help him. But on the other hand, he tried to deny until Stanton put up those evidence, and now he tried to send the money back. You think was that necessary as a sitting minister to like go on social media and trying to pay someone back for something that was, excuse me,
former minister?
Yeah, former. Thank you for the correction. As a former minister, right, and trying to pay back because you tried to basically clear the shame from your face. Was that even necessary for him as an individual and for the position he have held in the country? Go ahead, Gabriel.
Thank you so much. So someone asked me how significant is this topic, and I said it is very, very much significant because Isaac Jackson once served as at the information ministry as a minister, and later he was sent as a representative to, let's say, for the maritime affairs. So he has been a politician. He's a politician. He's a lawyer, and he's within the body politics of Liberia. You don't know who is considering him as a role model. People are listening to him. But that's why I'll have to say, my brother. You see, Asset Jackson just revealed that he lacks what psychologists call emotional intelligence. That is, I mean, you cannot control your emotions.
Can we please post the number?
Yeah. Gabriel, thank you, Chris, for that. Gabriel, please post the number. Let's start to pick up calls as we move ahead, so we can have the show interactive.
So back to what I was saying. Asset Jackson just proved to the audience that he lacked what we call emotional intelligence. That is, I
think our advice after we are done. I think our advice after we have done our one round, then you can open the line to take call because it will be interrupting other people's line.
All right.
So just remove the numbers. Good job.
So I already removed the number. So I mean, people are discussing politics, and you deviate entirely from the matter and jump into someone's private life. And my sister Christina, I would like to differ with you. I think Stanton Witherspoon was very, very much correct because Asset Jackson deviated from the issue and got into his private life. And forgetting to know that Stanton is his benefactor and he's beneficiary of Stanton's goodwill. And he's trying to paint the man so black. Asset Jackson is proving ingrate. He did that to, let's say the late Bronsky. The late Bronsky sent him to school, pay his school fees. The late Bronsky was the one that put him on the political pedestal for even people like Madam Ellen Johnson said it to see him. Can you imagine? Look, I always told somebody, do not play with people. You see, in life, there are so many stages we'll go. Some people will take you from the primary level. Some people will help you from high school. Some people will help you in colleges. You have so many destiny helpers. But the people you should never and ever be ungrateful to are the people who build your foundation. Because everything starts from the root. Without a very good foundation, my brother, you can, no matter how appealing you are from the top, you will never, you'll be like a horse that is sitting on a sinking sand. Bronsky built Asset Jackson Foundation up, sent him to school, paid his school fees. But because of politics, because of job, he went and viciously attacked that man, ferociously attacked that man. He didn't stop there. Asset Jackson also attacked Costa. In fact, he was one of the new advocates planning or praying for the closure of Roots FM that time. But when CDC took him from power, when CDC, booted him from there and sent another representative, he retreated to the same Costa show to advocate for him. And Costa reminded him. Costa said, "Oh, Asset Jackson, I'm not going to do fire for fire. It's not going to be like a Moses law. Where I know. I'm going to forgive you. But you remember the same radio station you are coming to. The same radio station that you are seeking audience from to come on our platform. It's the same radio station. It's the same radio station that you are advocating for its closure." He was reminded. So it's not something new. This is ungratefulness is something that is running in the gentlemen. Yeah, all these little things can really distract us, man. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, doing nothing.
Yeah. So ungratefulness is something that is running in the gene of Asset Jackson. It's something that is embedded into him. You cannot take it from him. You cannot take it from him. Asset Jackson is just an ingrate. He made more people to know that. If you are someone with a cheerful heart, you have to be very, very much careful. He said he never knew that Stanton is a criminal. Stanton has not been indicted yet. We all sat there, we're talking. Stanton are not being indicted. They say everyone is proving, everyone that is charged. I'm not a lawyer, but that's what they usually say. You are proving guilty of every charge until you are proving innocent unless you are found guilty. So how can you say the man is a criminal? The money you took for him, those are all accusations. Stanton is still on his show. He's still talking. He's not in prison. So I would just like to say, I mean, Isaac Jackson is just irrelevant. Just I will have to talk to him because he's within our political space. We don't know who he's really trying to motivate or something. And lastly, to conclude on this, gentlemen, let me try to say this. If you, most of all, yeah, we don't know where the future will carry on. If you find yourself to be a political leader tomorrow, you should be very, very much careful of people who will want to cut down other people or insult other people just to appeal to you. People who will do anything just to gain your attention. Those are people that Isaac Jackson. You will go on insulting people just to grab the attention of Alexander B. Cummings. He wants to squeeze himself within the ANC. Probably that's another pathway in which he's trying to follow in order to resuscitate already their political influence. That's another way in which he wants to surface within government. Because they didn't say have proven that without government job they cannot work. Bro, that man working Eddie Johnson government, and he was even saying abroad. Barely he just got out of job barely 2 years ago, and he's all around begging like a small boy. Then he want to come back and want to and even want to be talking to people like Darius Dillon then. You know, gentlemen. So I think it's so I mean it's just a waste of my time to even talk about people like Isaac Jackson because I mean, he's not any influence to follow. Thank you so much.
Tima, you are on mute.
I just saw that. Okay. So we go to Mercy. Mercy, we've seen the back and forth between Stanton, who had his own issues with the law, and because of that, I think Isaac was trying to denigrate him and saying a bunch of stuff about him, and he got angry and exposed Isaac Jackson because according to him, he don't like to talk about things he did for people, but the way Isaac was attacking him, he had to come up and say something. So, what do you make of it? Was Isaac right in that situation? Somebody who helped you when you needed the help? To go back and start denigrating them and saying a bunch of stuff about their character, was that a good thing that Isaac did? Or was Stanton right for the stand that he took? Go ahead, Mercy.
Both of them denigrated each other. Both of them have no integrity. Both of them are ungrateful. So they pay each other being ungrateful. I listened to them that day. I watched the whole show. And I saw where the tension came from. Isaac Jackson wasn't fixing Stanton at that time personally. He was with another person. And then, you know, when you guys are hauling and pulling like we're doing on our show, you rope haul bush haul rope. That's when he and Weatherspoon came on with their whatever happened behind the cluster. But like I said, the both of them are ungrateful. That's why they pay each other being ungrateful. And at the end of the day, Isaac Jackson, who is ungrateful like the Weatherspoon, went ahead and paid his money. Like what I saw in this, giving him back his money was the right thing to cut the whole case. Because Weatherspoon said a lot of things. That this guy is a beggar, he gave him money. There is no ungrateful man or woman that will ever make me to say the good I did for you. What I did for you, I did it because you needed it. So if you provoke me, that's why we have individual differences. I can never bring your name to public that I did this for Paul, I did this for Mary. I leave you with your ungrateful behavior. So Isaac Jackson got this. Isaac Jackson is my neighbor. We are 3 minutes away. And trust me, this guy is not hungry. Isaac Jackson is not hungry. He's sufficient. If people feel that he's jobless, he's hungry in America, he is my neighbor. 3 minutes away. He's sufficient. People, the good that Weatherspoon did for him, since it was brought to public, I could do the same. If you gave me food to eat, Mazo, trust me, I'll pay back your food. If you want to bring me to public that I gave you my money when you were hungry, we're talking about somebody who knows that, somebody who's serving government. Even though he was put out of the government because of 1 or 2 reasons, I'll pay back what you gave to me. So two of them have their own ungrateful behaviors. I don't care.
All right. Thank you. We're gonna wrap up to this
Yeah,
discussion quick.
1 minute, Tim. I'm not something. Just those. Let me just okay. But I said Jackson, my brother. I said Jackson was hungry before. Even he might be sufficient for now, but before he even settled in America, try to work and other things. I mean, it was something that I helped him. So that's the foundation, the same foundation I was talking about. Those are the people that really help him to merge in or integrate within the American society. People that are, gave him money to even pay bills. So before he
Pay
could even
bills what?
integrate,
You want to see what I meant, baby?
but yeah, before he would start living there, those were people that helped him. I'm talking about his foundation. You think they make him broke? They make him broke. You're very broke.
Let's go according to
But stand up. We're not listening to
That's
me.
it. That's it. We can't keep doing the back and forth. You had your
Someone who
turn.
go
Let him
on
speak.
begging almost everybody for money just to settle in the U.S. Tell me now, did he have any budget? I mean, for you to come to the extent of even begging your friend, I know it is not bad to beg, but you should know that you're operating on a deficit budget. You had nothing at all. You're operating on zero. So when people that help you, don't kind of start denigrating them. You start telling them, Stanton was very, very much right to even publicly disgracing that. And even Darrell Dillon did the scene. Darrell Dillon gave him, court suit. And right in front of the man in studio, he started denigrating the man. Darrell Dillon said, I never took my court suit from the man out there, So, this man is, the man, I see man we're talking about, whether he's sufficient, he's not sufficient. He's just, begging is just his habit. And if you know that, you are begging everybody that you should just close your mouth. Don't come up publicly and say things that people will just try to
that man
dismiss.
is not begging. It could be you. But so 1 minute, it could be you. When you come to a country and I'm in the country, I can welcome you with anything that I have. That's how it happened. It's not like he wrote him, send me money, I'm hungry. We all listen to the both of them. Anyway, that's okay.
Text messages.
That's okay.
We already run 2 hours, so I don't know how the show is going to be moderated today. Because everybody can just be giving inputs in the time.
It's a lot of But Marcy, you. I think we'll stick. Give up people the numbers up. I don't know if
Yeah, but Tima try to be fair to us now. So at least we are not concluded yet. Everybody went around the table, but you haven't reached some of us. So when we conclude, we can open up the line. That will make our own point. Let's be fair.
I'm right here.
I'm not spoken on the issue of Axel Johnson. When you hear Murphy and that of Christina spoke, bro. I'm following everything.
Mercy, Christina, I'm right there. Cartman.
Yeah.
So I will go to you. You saw the back and forth. You saw the two gentlemen going at one another. What do you make of it? Go ahead, Cartman.
So, the gentlemen, to be honest, the entire situation has been childish for both parties. Life, no one knows tomorrow. We all depend on each other for assistance, regardless of your status. We all depend on somebody. No man's an island. So the fact of the both of them going, I don't know. The thing is that what confusing me right now, what have happened to our people? What have happened to Liberia? Why are we going so low? If you insisted me, what's the significance of coming on social media and doing all this nonsense? What are we trying to prove? You know what I mean? Honestly speaking, I pay this particular conversation no ear, no tail, because I see it to be childish. I see the material in the backyard playing. It's stupid. You know what I mean? If Isaac Johnson, if Stentos assisted Isaac and Isaac took the assistance, he needed it at that time. You know what I mean? So I don't see where the back and forth come from. And if Isaac think that he was man enough, why he took it from him at that time? Why he took it from Stentos at that time? You know what I mean? If Stentos gave it to him, I don't think Stentos wanted to wanted to say open like the way they went. But you know what? You know what I said? I said the two of them is very childish, the money which he took. I don't think it's professional. I don't think it deserves this level of credence or conversation or time. Honestly speaking, I think it's a waste of our time to discuss this particular issue, because no man's an island when it comes to assistance. We all, even the most richest man in the world, he still depend on people for assistance to reach himself. So I'm doing that thing, man. If it pays, I pay that to no credence.
Thank you. Emmanuel, I'm right
Yeah.
up to you. We kind of running out of time. Mercy took our time, but we'll try to work with the
Ah,
camera
no,
and
bring
try to
nothing to me. Everybody talking here.
Yeah. Thank you.
La-
I think you're just pulling your legs. Go ahead. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Thank
Yo,
you, CEO. You know, when I see my brother Stanton, parading and said the morning man,
Mahi,
you know,
criminal.
I can sometimes I would just be laughing. When you have money, another person who has money can identify you without even seeing you or without meeting you. Money is something that you cannot just be showing yourself to people that you have it, because people can identify you when you have something. You see, Stanton is somebody who go into our society. He was too much involved in our society until before the truth come out. And he even went to Liberia, went to the Senate, I think the representative, took pictures, shake hands. That's a huge thing to do in our society. So he should understand that whatsoever a man sow, so shall he reap. And this will not be the last time in his presence that somebody will accuse him. His tomorrow will be so many questions. He will answer so many questions. He will have to defend himself. They think of, I stole the money, I knew it on you. You eat somebody stealing money. You eat. Those are all things that reduce you to the level of an animal. You're supposed to be man enough that when you give to somebody, even the person insult you or the person, how you call it, anything the person do, you should understand that this is just a leftover that you give to somebody. You can't take your saving and give it to somebody just like that because the person tell you, say, hey, no, I'm in need. So many people in need. You give money to somebody like this is a leftover, man. Okay, I have few cash that left over. Let me give it to somebody. So you don't worry about all those things. But when you start giving people, and I'm not backing as a Jackson or whatever it is, because T-Max, as long we that has Liberia at heart, good people in Liberia will now wake up to take up leadership. Anybody who see themselves, who just see leadership as somewhere where they can go and benefit, they will get into position and they will stop Liberia from functioning. They will just be there occupying those space. You understand? So some of those characters are Isaac Jackson, where he will, I don't know how he can really position the camera. He want to defend himself, with a type of statement. So most of my thing is to spoon former CEO. Bro, you have to hustle. You have to come on, hustle very clean. There will be a second chance for you. You have to stand as a man. But all of those things will not save you. So I will just stop right there.
Man, as a judge is an unrepentant beggar. You'll never even Costa raised money for himself on the Costa show. The same man, you're advocating for the closure of a radio station.
All right, thank you. So
Who can
we
pay?
will go to. Listen, man, you're not telling my time. We'll go to the chairman. Chairman, just dive into the discussion while we run because right now we're crushing up time.
Yeah. I will try my possible best to just, gentlemen, again, we have meet our magnet. That will be fair enough, so we cannot have some coming back and forth. Yeah, I will try to do my best to just, leave you, basic on the issue of Oxford Johnson and that of Stanton. Let us be very fair to ourselves here, right? Oxford Johnson is a counselor. He's not just an ordinary Liberian. Let us first understand that Stintons have been indicted with different charges. He never been proven guilty.
Sorry,
To call
Chairman,
him
he's an
criminal.
Anthony. He's an Anthony. He's not councillor yet.
Yeah, whether you're a councillor, but yeah, but there's no the distance is not far from Anthony to a councillor. It's not far. Yeah, but it's not far, Gabriel. It's very close. It's not far from Anthony. Is councillor, so it's very close. So we expect this man to know better. Stintons 1 has been indicted with different charges. He's not been proven guilty yet. So you cannot publicly call somebody a criminal. Until he's been proven guilty, then of course, he'll be considered as a criminal. That's 1. And then 2, you know, the Bible says when you give and talk about what you give, that giving is not acceptable. So you don't give somebody and try to talk about what you give them. You understand? So my point here is this. You should understand that everyone, we are in the flesh. We are all human. It's a one make a man shame. Make him vest. And when you get there, what will end up happening? Things will go out of hand. So Ashley Johnson being an educated man, and Anthony who understands, who knows the law, when he was being questioned, I heard Satan try quoting somebody that it is alleged that XYZ blah 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 blah. I mean, just simple, you know, respond. Oh my man, what you are? I mean, you know that political season and people will create stories and XYZ. It's that, you know, finish. Very friendly conversation. But you try to insult this man and try to call him criminal, which of course he have not yet been proven guilty on crimes and, you know, charges, you know, that I mean with those charges. And Satan too is a human. He's in the flesh. He ain't got power on the chest. Even though what he did was wrong, but he ain't got power on the chest. You made him sin. So all he felt he could do in return was to also, you know, put out all of those evidence and things that he had about you. So the simple thing that I have to see is this. They are wrong. Stanton was never right for what he did. I don't care you do 1,000 good for somebody. My brother, that God bless you for that good you did. Forget about coming on social media to talk about it, because these people, for example, Stanton is a former CEO. Somebody that people look up to. So if you're trying to go down low, trust me, how will people have respect for you? People who call you big names. Like what the Ashley Johnson man or Anthony. Not many people want to be an Anthony. A lot of people look up to you guys for sound decisions. So when you guys start acting like kids, trust me, what will end up happening? People try to lose trust and respect in you guys. So what I'm seeing, you know, it was just out of, yeah, you know, I don't want to use bad words on them, that's all, you know, but I think what they did was unprofessional, which they can learn better, you know, and try to improve themselves. And also Jackson returning the money, that's a waste, man. Returning the money, make it look like it is true, or what Stanton said, all that Stanton said was true. Even when Stanton said go on to start explaining all the story that may not be true, people will start to believe it because what? He tried to make payment. And what they asked him on making payment? I mean, to me, I just felt you could just leave it. What they asked him on making payment, to make it that money was finished. But trying to say you want to pay him back, my man, what you want to dignify over there? It's just waste of, you know, another energy. So thank you. Yeah, Gabriel, don't forget you can put the number within the comment section. You read the number to our audience, then it will be all the year. And you know,
you are muted, please.
Yeah, post the number within the comment section. You guys can read the number, or so they can be able to understand that exactly. Because you know, as we are talking, the walkie coming on the screen, they may not see the number clearly.
All right, to our viewers, the numbers are posted. Gabriel is going to post it in the comment section there, but you can place your calls now and make your input on all of the discussions we have had. Please call those numbers both direct and on WhatsApp. You can also call on WhatsApp if you have a WhatsApp on your phone. But yeah, as we move forward, Gabriel, we will not take a break due to time. We'll move to our last discussion. While we discuss, again, the viewers, please share the podcast. Place your call, or you can place a comment if you want to. On this show, we respect the views of everybody as long as you stay professional and not insulting people and going off the rim. It's okay. We respect the views of everyone coming on this platform. The same with the panelists, even though the Iron Lady should be going off and we'll try to pull her back in place and stuff like that. All right, but let's move on. So our last discussion will center around Henry Pedro Costa. As we all know, Henry Costa have been in the vanguard of discussing the ills in society and he's been one of the strong critique on the ruling establishment. But since we heard the announcement of the running mate to Honorable Joseph Numa Boakai, Mr. Costa have gone very silent.
Somebody, if people keep asking for the number, can you guys read the number and post it in the comments? Gabriel, you can pin the number at the bottom of the screen. That'll be fun. People keep asking for the number. It will not show clearly on the screen because as you're talking, the words are coming in writing. So they will not see the number clearly on the screen. So you either call the number or also post it in the comment section. It'll be helpful.
All right. I'm about to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I think going in the comment section will be fun because calling is going to disrupt.
I'm putting it as well.
Yeah, you can also call it T-Max. That'll be fine.
Go ahead, T-Max. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you are in the US or anywhere close to the US, the number there is 319-231.
Guys, check the numbers.
Three-
Yeah, saying the number is going voice or voicemail. Check the numbers. Check your phone.
The number for the US is 319-231-2600. That's the number for the US. For Asia is plus 8210-8089-0335. So the numbers are in the comment section there, so I think it's easy to get now. I don't know which of the number is going to voicemail, but well, my phone. Okay, we got a caller. Let's take this caller. Well, my phone. Okay, we got a. All right, this caller just went off. Oh, Waverly. Okay. So let's continue. As we receive calls, we're gonna pick it up and because we're on our last discussion. Again, as I was saying, Henry Pedro Costa, he's been one of the boys. But since the speculation of Henry being a running mate to Joseph Numa Boakai, and there was a whole lot of speculations around the Henry Costa nomination as running mate, and that did not come to fruition. We saw that Henry Costa went completely silent, and I would start with Gabriel. I know Gabriel is one person who's close to the Henry camp, and he supports Henry a lot. So, Gabriel, if you are there, Gabriel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Technical.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I was just posting the number.
Yeah. So, Henry Costa have been silent since Honorable Boakai announced his running mate. What do you make of it? Is he disappointed? Is this something that he's still kind of struggling or trying to recalibrate what to do next? I know you kind of more close to him, but he's been very silent from the talk show to even being public. What's going on? Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. Like you stated, even though I'm close to Henry Costa, and a few days ago we even talked, but I'm not going to say anything here to misrepresent him. I think Henry Costa will come on air in a few possible time. He's going to make known his intention. But all I have to say is that right now, anything Henry Costa do is either going to positively or negatively affect him. So it requires critical decision. And I always say that critical decision is not something you do in the sport or you just do quickly. It's something you have to sit down, you think about it, you put the criteria on the table, you weigh the merits and the demerits of your decision before going ahead. So I think he's just sitting and trying to look at that. The man is a very smart and critical minded person. He's not someone that is just going to come out and just do something that will, try to handicap him in the future. But all I can say to you is that Henry Costa is going to be back, and he's going to be by very forceful. He's going to be by very, very much influential, and very soon. And let me just say this: probably next week, we'll have one of Henry Costa's strong supporter on the show as a guest panelist.
We have a caller on the line. 1 minute. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning. Good afternoon. I call from Paris. My name is Frank Gibson.
Oh, Frank. Welcome to the Diaspora Talk.
Yes.
Go ahead. You are live.
Thank you very much. I think there is something missing here. Those people who are accusing Isaac Jackson of calling Staton criminal, Isaac Jackson did not say Staton is a criminal. Isaac Jackson said, you have been accused of stealing. That does not mean Staton is a criminal. Isaac Jackson said, somebody who is accused of stealing like you, accused of stealing does not mean Staton has been guilty of the crime committed. No, this is not what Isaac Jackson said. So I assume Isaac Jackson was in the need, and Staton helped him with 1,500 as he claimed. So that means that if even Staton helped Isaac Jackson, and Isaac Jackson sees Staton in the wrong, he shouldn't say it because he has received help from Staton. Is that what you guys are saying? So if this was the case, President William have helped a lot of people. And those people today are going back to accuse President William of things that he's doing in Liberia. So are we now saying if somebody helped me, or let's take the worst case scenario. My father gave birth to me. That was the best thing that he could ever do to me by bringing me on this earth. It's my father. Now, if I see my father committing crime, I shouldn't say because it's my father, he born me, so I shouldn't talk. Is that what you guys are trying to portray? Because Staton is good to Isaac Jackson. Staton is accused of stealing or of a crime that you're not being guilty of, and this is exactly what Isaac Jackson said. So you shouldn't talk because Staton helped you 1,005. Is that what you guys are saying?
No, that's not what we are saying. This is a whole group of panelists. Everybody have their different views and ideas.
There are 2 or 3 persons in the group have said that Isaac Jackson should have said that. Isaac Jackson, Staton said something, and Isaac Jackson came out to say Staton is lying. So because Isaac Jackson said Staton is lying, so the only thing Staton could say, I help you. Isaac Jackson did not call Staton criminal. He said you are being accused of stealing.
Thank you.
So we need to be fair here.
Thank you.
Staton is accused of stealing, except you guys are telling me that the FDR or the United States, whenever they say somebody commit crime, they lie. Those people put sanction on 3 government officials. And we believe that those 3 government officials did the act. But we are now saying no, we are questioning the FDR, because they are saying Staton stole. Let's be fair here. Staton is a nice guy. Yes, he's a nice guy, but Staton is he's a committing crime, you're a criminal.
Thank you.
Serious. See you all the time.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
So I go back to you, Christina and Chris. We see Henry Costa went silent since the
you with me now?
You were talking.
And I will go to
go ahead. Sorry, wrap up quick, Gabriel.
Yeah, so just to wrap. Just to wrap, just to conclude, I would like to say that Henry Costa will be back, and I think every decision he make is going to be in the best interest of the people and in the best interest of Liberia, because this is what he has always fought for.
We got a caller on the line. I'm sorry, Gabriel. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. Hello.
Go ahead. You're live. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Alfred Willete Wester. I'm calling from New York City.
All right, go ahead, Alfred.
I want to purposely dwell on the issue concerning Isaac Jackson and Mr. Witherspoon.
Go ahead.
I think some of your studio guests who are deliberating on the issue are not fair in terms of running up their judgment based on the issue. I watched the show on that day, and I realized that from the discussion on that day, the issue of Mr. Stanton had nothing absolutely to do with the topic of discussion on that day. Isaac Jackson, unfortunately, I've been knowing him when we were both in the law school between 2004 and 2005. All right, I graduated 2 years before him. I know him very well. He's very emotional and very boisterous, and that's why he exhibited on that show. He had no reason for attacking Mr. Stanton's character. The issue of discussion had nothing absolutely to do with Mr. Stanton's character. Stanton raised the issue of what he heard, and he asked a question. Mr. Jackson, can you please address the issue? Because this is a political issue. So please address the issue. He got up and started attacking Mr. Stanton, how he is criminal, he stole money, blah, blah, blah. And I heard some of the brothers talking back there that anything Americans say, the FBI say is true. That's not true. According to you people, I was not there when you graduated because you were my freshman student when I was in the law school between 2003, 4, and 5. All right? In law, there is something that says why it's not done legally is not done correctly. It's not done at all. Equally so, there's an old theory which says that one is not found or one is not considered a criminal until found guilty in the court of competent jurisdiction. What you guys are saying, some of you guys, your serious guys are saying that is not true. The very FBI and the CIA had lied the other time when they attacked Iraq, that there was some nuclear material that were found there and the rest of it. So they tendency of Liberian believing anything Americans say. I mean, it's very surprising that even educated Liberians who live in America, I've been living in New York for the past 14 years.
Thank you.
There are a lot of things that I see here that are not true. And yet our people continue to hold fast to that when they go home, they start masquerading that everything that we've done here is true.
Thank you, my brother.
Isaac Jackson lacked integrity. He lacks, the first thing, he lacks integrity.
Thank you.
Even if he paid that money. All right? The issue of integrity will continue to ever follow him.
Thank you, my brother. We got to let you go. Thank you. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you call from?
You on a talk show?
Okay.
So, man, I feel this.
Hey, wait.
Tell me, go ahead.
What you talking to me?
What?
Go ahead. T-Max? Theo? Are you referring to me?
Yeah, I don't know what.
I'm at a discussion. Let me know when to call you, big girl.
Opposition always confused. Another opposition calling my brother.
I think Gavin, before Gavin in the league, you can about 2 years when you be
I got you, Mazo.
I know that after I will be crazy. All right. We move on. So Gabriel is gone. Chris, is Chris here?
What happened?
I'm here. But go to Chris. Go
Why you talking to me? Why you talking to me?
You hit your hair?
No, the
I'm so sorry, honey.
How you pass on me, bro? Yeah.
Go to Chris, bro. Chris.
Is Chris back? All right, Chris.
Chris is back.
So we were here with you. Our brother Henry Costa went silent since Boaka is running me. No, but don't call no on his sunny here. So okay, don't talk. Just sit down there. So we looking at the silence of Henry Costa. Is he how is he handling the situation after all of the speculation and his name was not called as running mate to Joseph Boakai, and he was completely silent. What do you think? What do you make of his silence?
I 100% concur with his silence because of good leaders speak less and listen more. Henry Costa is now getting mature when it comes to Liberian politics because Henry Costa yesterday would just speak any way he wants to speak. At least now he knows that he has that charisma to keep silent, to listen to the public before coming on to talk. When it comes to the ambition of running mate, that was he just proved that he's overly ambitious. He's overly ambitious to even think it is good because they say when your dream scare you, it's not big enough. I know his dream was very big of becoming a running mate, but was it really timely? Is it the time? Is he really mature enough to serve as the vice president of the Republic of Liberia? Because the vice president is a president in the absence of the president. Does he has that maturity to withhold and withstand everything, like backlashes and what have you? Of course, it's just proving that he's trying to get mature. He keeps silence on things when speculations are ongoing. OJ just disrupted me like that.
Christina, you are frozen.
All right, we got a caller. Let's take this caller. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning. My name is Andy Hitch. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Go ahead, Andy.
I want to emphasize a little bit on the Henry Costa issue.
Go ahead, you're alive. Go ahead, you're alive.
Okay, Costa is a brilliant guy. He fought for the cause. And yes, he did help to promote JMB. But if you look at it another way, JMB did not promise anybody anything. Okay, Costa was never part of that VP list. Last, he was listed on it. All right, Costa was running for different position. I support him. I mean, I'm a fan of Costa, but Liberia comes first. Costa said, whoever that will be selected as VP, he will support that person. But Costa being silent right now, I mean, he will come out to speak one day. And Costa, like she said, he's maturing and we'll have a good chance to put himself together. So I just want to thank you guys for the show and thank you for allowing me.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for contributing. Thank you. All right, that's it. Who was on, Chris? Yeah, so we moved to Mercy. Mercy.
Man, last program.
Has Chris concluded?
I thought she did.
Gentlemen, almost 12 midnight.
Yeah, that's fine. Y'all sleep tomorrow morning. So, Chris, did you conclude?
Chris, you're muted. You're talking.
Man, let's talk about Chris. Chris having some network issues.
Man, my kids slow down, my man. Why you brushing yours on that food divine here?
Brother, it's 12 midnight in Korea. You take your break. It's 12 midnight here, bro.
Chris, you are muted. You are muted, Chris.
But when Chris is muted, move to the next person.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Chris, so Chris will come back to you.
With opposition.
Chris, try to read it. Try to get
Chris will come back to you. Mr. Cadman, we see our brother Henry Costa going completely silent when it comes to every political, situation now unfolding in the country, and he's been one of the voice when it comes to speaking on ills in society and how things are. He's been there fighting for Liberians speaking out on ills in society. So what do you make of his silence since Nima just Honorable Boaka announced his running mate? We saw that Henry Costa just went completely cold.
You know,
Even though there are still speculations of other things that I don't want to bring on the show, but what do you think? What's going on?
you know, Henry is a smart guy. Let me just say, for his age, in our current time, Henry's a smart dude, and I admire him a lot. From where he came from Hot FM to where he is right now. And my thing is that life is all about stages. You know what I mean? And I don't think this particular season was all is Henry's time. He needs to slow down. And I recall, because I follow him most of the time, I recall he even made mention that he wasn't even interested in that particular era of running mate. You know what I mean? So if his name came up and he was not selected or nominated or however it goes, I don't think it should be something that should be disheartening or discouraging to him. You know what I mean? It should be a sign of promotion for him. If even somebody can look at him and say, "My man, you know what I mean? You can be a running mate." That means there's a brighter future for him. So I think that aspect of him feeling bad that he wasn't selected, I don't think that's the situation. I think Henry is kind of like really not understanding the dynamics of the Liberian politics. You know what I mean? Liberia got different style of politics. I think now he's seeing it, he's feeling it. Besides being a talk show host, trying to step into the political field of play, he's understanding it. And I hope and pray that his silence is almost like a soldier who retreated to reinforce his strength to come back out for better operations. I hope his silence is not for coming back to be a mockery, because if he comes back and says something that really people least expect of him, is going to really ruin his future. Like what his brother said, how you call him, Gabriel. The choice he makes right now, whether good or bad, will determine his final route. And I leave my case to rest on that issue.
Thank you. Emmanuel, we'll
Yeah.
go to you to take it from there. What do you make of Pedro Costa's silence? Is kind of concerning because he's been one of the voice speaking out, and since he was to be announced according to rumors as Boaka running mate and all of that, everything went cool. He just went silent. What do you think is happening? Go ahead.
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, CEO, when you look at the situation on ground now, before we, think about Henry Costa functioning in the system, in the political system now, we have to take into consideration whether he's needed now. As it takes, the moving train now where we have Rescue 1, Rescue 2, and Rescue Mother, there's no much space open for the advocacies of Henry Pedro Costa right now. He's a Liberian, he can come on board, he can be there, he can talk. But the way he carry on his political issues, every Liberian has been convinced. Even the president of the nation has been convinced that he cannot or he don't know anything about politics. So Liberians are on board waiting for October 10th to go and vote. So Henry Costa, whether he's silent, he's not silent, he will come tomorrow, he will come day after tomorrow. Henry Costa cannot make any other different change with the issues on October 10th. He can come out now and join the train. That would be the best thing for him. But there is no way how he can, like maybe say he's not coming on the train. He will form a party or he will go on this person and that person. At the end of the day, all the opposition must come together for the second round to support one person. So if you not support Joseph Boaka today, why if Joseph Boaka go for the second round and you are part of the opposition bloc, you coming to, it will be the same thing. So it's better to come now than later on to come and then you have no value. So I would just say, as it takes now, the Liberians have resolved, they agree that this government must leave and another new idea must come on. So Henry Costa now, he have the choice to make to get on the train. So thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. That was the advisor right there, Emmanuel Dunica. We'll go to the chairman, the board chair of the Diaspora Talk. The chair, you'll be wrapping it up. I know everybody here has spoken.
The chairman, I want to go see so soon.
I haven't talked, but it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, sorry. I
I
thought
haven't spoken on the Aaron Costa issue, but it's okay. The chairman can go ahead.
Oh, no, then I'll come back to you. You're talking.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, chairman. It's okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you,
you
thank you.
go.
You know, I would just spend, I would use 30 seconds of my time talking about Costa, and then I will use about 30 minutes of giving some piece of evidence. Yeah,
30 minutes.
I mean 30 seconds rather. Sorry. you know,
You're a landlord with divorce, so we get files to that opinion.
I know we're still on the talk show, right? I know we're still on the talk show. Yeah. My man, give me a chance to talk about it. Yeah, so you asking us whether the salary on Henry Costa is kind of shocking to us all. For me, all I can see of the issue of Henry Costa, there's nothing there to shock me. Because I understand that a wise man teaches. It's only a fool that remain constant. So Henry Costa have been proven, he have proven to Liberian people that he's a wise man. So there's nothing much to be shocked about. He being silent. It just show everybody that he's a wise man. So that's why all of a sudden he's got to be quiet. Like we know he's been running up and down, the platforms, and making noise. So that would just be my short comment on that. But then the rest of my time, let me just use it to just make some clarification from the caller who called from Paris. He said that Acid Jackson only said that someone who were accused of stealing. And I just want to play this short audio for 5 seconds. You guys just allow me to talk.
Electors in our country. He said for people who steal and kill, lying can be a child's play. And what are we?
He was quoting H. Brahma formula, the late. People who steal and kill. So if the caller saying that he never, called Stanton a criminal, so what the other word for stealing? I think it's still fall within our scene line. So the point that we were making here was very clear. Acid Jackson accuses man of stealing from the parable he was given for H. Brahma formula, and that's why we were making the public to understand that this man had been indicted with charges. Donald Trump, the scene had been indicted with charges. Donald Trump being convicted right now, he's not in prison. So until Stanton is convicted of his crime, until he's being found guilty, then of course, we are free to call him criminal. So just that short clarification I want to make, because Acid Jackson said it clear. So let that caller go back and listen to the tape very well. From the beginning of his conversation, how he started, what he said, and what makes him we are making this statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. On this note, we will close the lines. We're not accepting any calls anymore. We'll be giving our party statement. Today's show was very, very intense, very fantastic. We have our callers and our panelists here. Yes, very fantastic. We have our callers. You got some? No, we don't have time for that, unfortunately.
Let just refill. See you. Let just go on field, please.
The comments are not even comments to read because also insult all in our comment section.
And then see how best we can wrap it up, man. We don't have time.
Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead.
We don't have the time. The comments are there. I know the audience can read it. We don't have to read it back to them. So we got a call coming in, but we're not taking calls anymore. So I won't pick up that call. So on this note, it was a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, wherever you are. But the show was fantastic. We had a very interactive discussion. And I want to say thank you to the panelists here for taking up their time to be here and discuss this important issue as we move on, I would like to start up with Gabriel to give up his parting statements as we wrap up the show for today. Go ahead, Gabriel.
All right, let me just let you know that I'm already in my Monday, just 6 minutes in my Monday. Yeah.
That's good.
So firstly, let me start with Costa. This is a guy I have religiously and staunchly followed. And I know his heart for Liberia. This is a man who has abandoned almost everything and just dedicated his time to advocacy. I mean, this has been his path, and everybody knows him for that. And I know everything right now, whether he delay or he don't delay, I know everything, every decision right now he's trying to make will be in the best interest of the people. Because everything he has clamored against is something that disrupt our peace, corruption, and the vices in Liberia. And just to say this, for people, I don't want to underestimate that man. You know, if you can really follow Henry Costa, the downfall of United Party began when Henry Costa started exposing all the shady deeds of Raul Salif and the United Party. And today, when Ellen Johnson posts picture and you see most people frowning at her, it's because of the thing Henry Costa disclosed about Ellen Johnson Salif. There's the man that has made the CDC government very, very unpopular. Do not underestimate the weight of Henry Pedro Costa. You know, he already worked with Joseph Newman Parker for long. Since the election of President Weah, Joseph Newman Boakai is one of the closest men to Henry Pedro Costa, and he has a lot of information, evidences about Henry Costa. So nobody should underestimate him. Say when he come back and go against Joseph Newman Boakai, it will be for a child play. Henry Costa open his mouth. He has the way to even make that man unfavorable to the voters. So we should not underestimate him. All we can say, decision that he's about to make, he should make it in the best interest of the people. The people don't love George Weah. George Weah is not a leader. And people see Joseph Newman Boakai as the man who is going to release them or relieve them from the corruption of George Weah. So they don't want any disruption. That's why we are talking to Henry Costa about we should not underestimate his political voice, because the man has history of bringing government down, exposing government, making them look very unappealing and unfavorable to the eyes of the Liberian people. And just to conclude on this, let me say, the U.S. government has already spoken. I'm going to join with Asa Jackson sometime. I'm going to talk about it. The U.S. government has already spoken. Gentlemen, this election that is coming, let's pray for a free and fair election. President Weah is inadvertently telling the people that he loves violence because he does not say anything about it to condemn it. My brother, look at what happened to PYJ or church. President Weah did not say anything. Brother Selulu, he didn't say anything. Or the one that happened district number 13, where this guy was working with collides, he didn't say anything. The man has been conspicuously silent. He's not talking anything. So he's only showing that, he is supporting violence. So, gentlemen, I would like to say, for the sake of peace and unity, let's pray for Mama Liberia. Let's pray for Mama Liberia, and also let's pray that the international community step in during the electoral process, because we don't even have confidence in our government for security. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. That's good. That was Gabriel Massacre, our planning director. Thank you very much for that parting statement. We now go to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, the chief advisor for the Diaspora Talk. Go ahead, Emmanuel. Give your parting statement.
Yeah, so in my parting comment, I would just like to say this to my brother Gabriel Massacre. You see, regardless of Henry Costa being noted for whatever it is, I want you to know that Liberians has understand, even including the citizens, the president of Liberia has understand that he cannot lead this country again. He's not a politician. So you will have a job for Henry Costa if you want him to be so important. This is not issue of being important or issue of knowing Joseph Boakai, even like anything he can say about Joseph Boakai. The fact of the matter is, if George Weah go for the second term, my brother, for 6 years, if we take 6 years out of our life again, with a government who will just sit and Jefferson coaching them will just be doing, saying, people will be going to people's churches, going to people's house, doing what they want to do. My brother, a lot of things will be destroyed. Most of the things in our country that you see, when they go, the basement, the park, playing ground, look, there are countries that don't even allow people to build those things to where they pay no type of they park there. But because we are limited in thinking, or our expectation of ourselves is limited, we see those things as development. Things that you see over there are things that factories, those type of park there you see that things that factory or schools, local elementary school can just build for children to play. But we are taking it as national issue where our taxpayer money will be going for them to build and say this is development. So Liberia need more. We need to do better. We need to expand. We don't need a government that will be thinking on the type of level. You and I are here. We know that you can't see that thing as development. People being tunnel of, let's say, 45 minute, 30-minute drive on the ground. People building tunnel on a water, all the type of things going on. People developing, being skyscraper, developing the countries. Government, national government supposed to just be concentrating on road at this type of time, 2023. That's something that our government supposed to be thinking about, national issues. Making plan for 10 years to come, 15 years to come. Yeah, so, okay, I will just stop here, for the other panelists to get their parting comment. Because
I understand your frustration, but we're running out of time. The landlord waiting for the chairman, so we gotta get out of here. We'll go to Mercy. Mercy, your parting statement. The Iron Lady, the troublesome woman.
I would like to put directly in what Gabriel said. Gabriel said something and it clicked to my mind. What you put out there represents you. What comes out of your mouth speaks for you. I'm quoting Gabriel. Gabriel said, Karen Costa is known for breaking governments down. Aaron Costa brought Ellen Johnson down, for which when she posts on Facebook, people go back and forth insulting this lady. And I see those insults on her post some days. Aaron Costa, what he's doing, what he's saying. Am I protected? I'm quoting you, boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
What Aaron Costa is saying, according to you, I see him do those things. It will haunt him politically. And that's where his downfall came from. I stand to tell you today that no, there is no political leader that trusts Aaron Costa because he has that record. Thank God you, his fans, said it to the audience. What you have said, show a green light to the public that Aaron Costa political ambition will be a stepping back or step backward for him. Onward. He will not have a space in any political camp because you know what? No one can trust Aaron Costa. This is not a physician that spoke on that. A friend of Aaron Costa just spoke on that. So I want you to take note. What comes out of your mouth? Well, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. No, don't cut me off. Oh no, you said that. You said that we all listen to it. Aaron Costa is known. Why you're always treating me like this? Whenever I'm talking, people interrupting me. I'm not lying. You just said it that this guy is known for breaking government down. He did it to LA. That's why Joseph Boakai is afraid of this man, and everybody will be afraid of him.
The show
Oh
is
my
done.
God.
You said party statement. So your party statement
That's my
should not
party
be
statement. My party
because
statement is the
it's
trust.
it's
No one can
it's
trust Costa now because
it's
what he has
complicated.
proven
Aaron
Let's
Costa
is
keep it
is known
why
for bringing
is
corrupt
living
government down. People are telling
is
us to
living
believe.
after him. No
Gabriel,
one
please
can trust him.
let
So
her speak.
remember, guys, what you say
Let her
out there will be
speak.
accounted for. What you
Thank
do
you.
out there will be accounted for. So let's
Thank you.
watch what comes out of our mouths.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Christina, I would like to have your party statement, please.
First of all, I want to say thank you for the fruitful moderation of the show. And I would like to thank all panelists for their meaningful contributions. Though we disagree to agree, but it was fruitful. And I want to say that the issue of Ashley Jackson and Stanton Waterspoon is a minimum issue that we should not focus on as Liberians because it brings no meaningful contribution to our society. And Isaac Jackson just proved himself as an immigrant and he's guilty charged yet. And Stanton Waterspoon exercised a little bit of patience as Daniel Sano did. And sure, because he ran on Daniel Sano by insulting Daniel Sano, he was going to go scot-free on the platform and not being denigrated as Stanton Waterspoon did. But that was something that Stanton Waterspoon checkmated him and put him into his right position. I listened to one of his interviews, his press, live shows, and he was still dwelling on the issue of what Stanton said and how he feels Stanton is a criminal and such. And the issue of this board and the mayor of Jefferson Kochi and threatening statements he made to our cabinet ministers.
Chris, please be a little audible. Please profile your voice. I think you're a little low.
15, I couldn't what she's talking to.
My husband yet acting, oh please.
Go ahead, Chris. Put a little fire in your voice.
Wow.
I just, as I was just saying about the issues that we previously discussed, the Henry Petro Costa issue, his silence proof a sign of maturity, and Gabriel coming on to say, and he knows Henry Pedro Costa. Yes, he do. And I would also like to speak on the Stanton and Asset Jackson issues. Asset Jackson should not be given credence because he's an immigrant. He proved it on the social media, on the social space. And he even going about having live shows and even discussing Stanton private life, that which of course is humiliating to Stanton and also himself, because if somebody help you, you should be grateful enough to prove to protect the person. And Stanton has not been proven guilty yet, so Stanton is not a criminal until he's been proven guilty in the criminal court of law. And the issue of the Major Jefferson Kochi, Jefferson Tamakochi, Jefferson Kochi just proved his level of immaturity, that this government have a lot of immature ministers and people in positions that power has carried them. They are power drunk. They don't know their scope of limitation. They just speak anyhow to anybody. Why would he threaten somebody and say the person will lose their position? They will move on them. Like seriously, Are we in a kind of state that people move on people and violence is accepted now, that nobody can talk about it? Jefferson Kochi just proved a level of irresponsiveness, and he proved a level of high tolerance of violence, and he should be strongly discouraged by the Liberian people and by the president. The president needs to checkmate him so he can come to himself. And Mercy, I will talk.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris. Gotta go. Chris, Mercy, when you're speaking, you want protection. When people speaking, you gotta protect them.
I've not
Please,
said a word.
no, please, Mercy. When you're speaking, you want people to protect you. When people speaking, protect them. Let's be fair.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris. Wrap up.
Mas please, I said the brother.
Wrap up, Chris.
Mary bro, I can't do that. She too much.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. We gotta go. We gotta go.
And the issues we previously discussed on the U.S. ambassador speech he made. The U.S. ambassador said ills in society that he feels that the president should address. If the president is not addressing those issues, it's frustrating as an international partner to be in Liberia representing the U.S. in Liberia and see high level of violence taking place. That the U.S. taxpayer has spent a lot of money on Liberia during the civil crisis, and the taxpayer money is not just money that they waste. They spend it, they build the army up, and they feel that this thing the peace should be kept. So it was frustrating that this episode, this saga occurred, and nobody in authority came out to discourage the act and call these people to attention and even go to investigate why they did that. No one did it from in higher authority. That was frustrating to the U.S. ambassador that he even used or kind of vocabulary that are not necessary to be used because of the level of frustration and intolerance, that they will not accept this. They will not accept this. And it shouldn't be
Thank you, Chris.
So
thank you.
I just want to say thank you guys once again for everything, and we all have a great day.
Thank you. That was Christina right there, one of our powerful panelists on the Diaspora Talk. We'll go to our co-host, Cadman. Cadman, your parting statement as we wrap up the show for today. Go ahead.
You are muted.
You are muted, Cadman. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I had a little technical glitches somewhere in between. Thanks for the.
Go ahead.
But anyway, I would like to start off with the ambassador's comment. And I don't think we should look at this situation as an insult, because I usually tell people, don't mind the message, but listen to how you understand the message. I can be telling you good morning, and that good morning may will turn your ear as an insult. The ambassador is only trying. I think from the ambassador perspective, he's only trying to kind of like reawaken our people, reawaken the leadership with reference to what is going on. We reawaken them to decisions that they have just come up with, or they just came up with. You know what I mean? But people trying to take it out of proportion. I don't think they should go that route, because everything is stated is not in auto space. Everything is stated is right before everybody. There was no investigation done, or there have not been any investigation. There have not been any criticism from higher authority, nothing of the kind with reference to what went on. So what he's saying, I don't know why will other people take it out of proportion, like he's being arrogant or he's being rude to the people of Liberia, and it's something that is blaring. Another one I want to go over, I don't want to burn the time, is reference to Mayor Kochi. Look, this young man, you know, when you get small ball position that are too big for him, it can confuse them. And I feel that Kochi really do not know his a job description for the onset of. I ain't come to you, please. Well, I don't think he knows his job description because he's overstepping his boundary. You know what I'm saying? And for him speaking the way he speaks, and the president is not saying anything, and he coaching holding a higher position within the ruling party, it's like the president is equal who or what he's saying. Because he should be able to check me and say, look, my man, you in my government, you're a high-ranking man within the party. I don't think you should be speaking like this. If I see my cabinet minister, because comparing he, Kochi, and a cabinet minister, I think your cabinet minister should be ranking higher than he, Kochi. So he shouldn't be going the route he's going, talking about dining and whining with opposition and he's sitting in our party or he's sitting in our government. I don't think he should be going that route. I think he's supposed to know his limitation. And last but not the least, our brother Henry Costa, I'll just take this time to tell you, look, my brother, be careful of whatever decision you make. You've been quiet for a minute, and when you're public speaker, you're a talk show host, and you're one of the mouths that people listen to. Whatever decision you come up with, whatsoever thing you say, please take note that Liberia should be the main thing with what you're saying, because you got words that you keep in memory, you got bombs, and when you drop, it has a propensity of spoiling a lot of things. So we ask you to be professional and keep Liberia first when everything you say. Last, I would like to say thanks to all our listening people out there, our contributors. We say keep on listening. Come on every Sunday. We have fascinating conversations for you guys, and with inputs. All you guys' inputs are all necessary. The only thing we ask you guys is to refrain from profanity because you cannot go that route on social media. Thanks once more for the Sunday, and have a blessed working week.
Thank you. That was Mr. Cadman Fangalo, our co-host for the Diaspora Talk.
So you left the chairman last. chairman.
Welcome, Mr. Bima, and he's watching from New Jersey, and the rest of our audience here who are watching. We are wrapping up now, unfortunately, but you guys are welcome to tune in. 7 in the morning is when the Diaspora Talk starts on Sunday. So hopefully the next time you guys can have the time to make calls and have your input. We'll go to the board chair of the Diaspora Talk, the veteran, the brain, the man who is the founder and the backbone of this entire idea. That's the man, Lincoln Mackay. Mr. Chair, we will now ask for your parting statement. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. CEO, and I appreciate the recognition. Firstly, let me just extend thanks and appreciation to our audience. The Diaspora Talk, I reached 31,000 followers. That's a huge number for us. It is based on you guys. I mean, can we meet our mic, gentlemen, please? I don't know what I sound. Yeah, let's just mute our mic, please, man. It sounds too bad. Yeah, so, I mean, you guys support have reached us this far, and we know you guys going to take us to 1 million+ followers. Yeah, the Diaspora Talk is growing day by day, and we are at, like I said, 31,000 followers. That's a huge number than most of the platforms, social media. So we are proud of you guys. Keep supporting the Diaspora Talk. And you know, the question you asked, I just want to use a few words, you know, with my parting statement, right? It is often said that your attitude, it determines your altitude. And that word, let it go to our brother Herman Petro Costa. Like I said earlier, wise man changes as soon as the food are remain constant. So your attitude is what you do. It will determine where you are going, your destination. So whole Herman Costa will just do his best and let him not allow people, you know, to put breeze in the ear to do the negative thing. If you love our country, Liberia, he will do the wise thing for our country so that it can get better for us all. Like I always said, the life that we experience in Western world, we want to experience those scenes in life when we have the opportunity to go back home. We want to go back home and, you know, take back on a hot shower. You don't have to go live in a hotel. Go to maybe your family homes or your personal housing, or, you know, take on, you know, take bath, cold water or hot water. You have electricity all around, the community. Those are things we want to see. And we are proud of that. So we want a better government who can set up all of these systems. With the issue of Jefferson Koji, I wish Jefferson Koji can take his time to go to the country of Senegal and understand how the city mayor of Dakar works so that he can learn a lot of things. I wish he could take his time to go to Uganda, the great city of Kigali, and have a fun discussion with the city mayor of Kigali to know what they have been doing to make the city so clean. Now, Uganda is being considered as the Singapore in Africa. That's a plus for them. So I wish our city mayor who make use of this time, all the 6 years, engage all of these city mayor within, the African country. Get to understand what, they are into. And that would be a very good help to him. Then coming on social media, with battle cry, all those things, you're looking at water. And, it's not necessary. You've been appointed to serve the people. What threatens your own brothers and sisters that you guys serving together? What threatens people a government job? You think government job is somebody mind powerful? No. It is today it come for you, tomorrow it come for John Brown. Can you tell me that the finance minister from since 1980 is still the finance minister of today? No. There are no more around the corridor. Brand new people. And Jefferson Koji will be nowhere tomorrow. So we are given the easier opportunity or the simple opportunity of the chance or to serve. It doesn't mean you are better than the other people in the country that are so qualified. No. You should understand that people find favor in you and they want you to show yourself out to the world. What great you have inside. But Jefferson Koji, you're not proving it to us. I admire you being one of the youngest, city mayor in our country. But your activities, it discouraged me a lot. I love to see young leaders, but what you are doing is on the contrary. So I'm not pleased with that. And I hope you can improve. But there's no time now for you to improve. October's already closer. What's the time you have now to improve? Instead, you keep making it worse for yourself, Jefferson Koji. On this note, gentlemen, thanks for the time. I appreciate every one of us on here taking our time to discuss the issue of our country. It shows that we love our country so much and we want the best. Don't mind our sister Mercy.
Oh, I'm sorry, you calling my name? Jefferson Koji, say you call my name. Let me talk. Jefferson Koji is acting as a city major. He's doing his best. And the George Weah-led government, they are doing their best. But you guys will never see the positive side. You conclude when you call my name, so I got to put hand up to that. Every positive thing the CDC-led government is doing, you guys are not discussing it. Only the negative. Every government do have their negative side. The great America, Bobby have his negative side. At least you guys should balance the equation. Talk the positive and don't leave the positive out and always bring up the negative. What you want for Jefferson Koji to do? If you guys are pinning this guy to be an assassin, do you have proof for that? Go ahead. You call my name. That's what I came up.
Yeah, let me just take the 5 seconds to just conclude. I don't want you to misconstrue me on here. I did not call Jefferson Koji an assassin.
People do that.
To say that I'm frustrated because I expected the best from him and I expect him to engage with more city mayors in Africa to do better for our city of Monrovia. But all that we see the worst. And on this note, to conclude, thanks for the time, gentlemen. I appreciate the effort we apply on here tonight to discuss the issue of our country. It shows the love that we have our people back home and our country at large. I hope we all can do better. The opposition who are government in waiting, I hope they can put their act together so that we that are on social media can have trust in them and begin to propagate, the best, platform that they have. But if we are not seeing all of these things, trust me, some of us will not put our neck on chopping board for them. But all that we'll do, we'll continue to educate the Liberian people so that they can make wise decisions on October 10th for us to have a better leadership in this country. So thank you, gentlemen, for the time. And you guys have a brand new week.
Thank you.
Liberians going to make a good decision. They will vote wisely and they will vote for CDC. CDC will win over and over because Joshua is the best president Liberia have ever put out.
Mercy, you can't keep doing this. Seriously, you can't. Please. No, you can't. All right. So on that note, that was the chairman of the board of directors of the Diaspora Talk, and I was your host today, the man T Max, Abraham T Massacre. This is the Diaspora Talk. We want to say thank you to our followers. Again, like the board chair just said, we hit 31,000 followers, and I know before July we can hit the 1 million mark. Please follow if you like the show. If you want to be a part of the show, be a follower, hit the follow button and follow the Diaspora Talk. We encourage that. We appreciate you guys. Whatever we do here is because of you guys, our Liberians and other patriotic Liberians around the world. On this note, I want to say thank you to the U.S. ambassador for stepping forward and making those strong statements in times like these, when we have no government, no leader to step up and speak the truth to the people who think Liberia is just a country of violence. You know, everything people do, we should respond in violence. I want to commend the U.S. ambassador for that statement and for that press conference, for being very upright on how a decent and a civilized country should run, and not people just jumping up every day and running to people's houses and people private properties and trying to intimidate them based on political views. On that note, I also want to talk about our brother Henry Pedro Costa. He's somebody that I love and admire, even though we have some disagreements, but it's good that he's silent. And again, like my brother Cadman said, we hope his return should be something that will motivate young people and a lot of responsible people to get behind him, support him, and see where he takes his political future. But it's okay to sometimes take a step back and recalibrate and understand where you want to take your journey. On this note, I want to say thank you to our great panelists here today. You guys did a great job discussing the issues. And until next Sunday, when we'll be back here discussing another fascinating issues pertaining to nowhere but Mama Liberia. Thank you to the Iron Lady Mercy, our powerful lady.
Will win flat. Will whip your flat.
Our powerful lady Christina there, the board
call me
chair,
all kinds of name. I don't care.
the advisor, the co-host. We all were here today presenting. And on this note, we say thank you. See you next Sunday. We'll be right back here at 7:30 USA time, the East Coast. Thank you very much.
We did it again. Thank you, Mazo. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye. CDC, vote all the way. We're here to make the country better. Okay, Josh, we are all the way. The best president that Liberia have ever put out is the CDC-led government. What are your calling names on that? I get time for your names you're calling. The highest and my CDC is doing great. That's all. Bye.
So you can get tired.
All my haters catching cold. From head to toe, I'm in my zone. Where play you when I had no money? Like now you acting like you know me. Who you are, yeah, who you are, yeah. You know me, but I don't know who you are, yeah. Flexing on these bitches in my new designers, yeah. I know Benjamin Franklin, I don't know who you are, yeah. They been tryna hit a bullet, but this is my time, I own this Rolex. Switch it up, baby, tell me what you want, I got what you need, no, don't check. Even though you wanna get when I would rather text it, I can ready put you on, I can show you what you want, yeah. Shawty want a threesome, I might do it for the fun, yeah. I can let her run around, get that pretty bitch her space. Cause anytime she come around, she know it's a holiday. Yeah, I don't have to see an ID, I know who's my brother, I know who's my friend and me. I know all the undercover secret agent and I tryna kill my energy. Señorita, looking at pizza, you don't need a visa. Enter my world, Mona Lisa, to the power, yes, we my bounce on naked. All my haters catching cold. From head to toe, I'm in my zone. Where play you when I had no money? Like now you acting like you know me. Who you are, yeah, who you are, yeah. You know me, but I don't know who you are, yeah. Flexing on these niggas in my new designers, yeah. I know Benjamin Franklin, I don't know who you are, Yeah, Christian Dior, yeah. I don't know who you are. I know you don't like me, I don't know who you are. Yeah, yeah, who you are. I know you don't like me, I don't know who you are. Yeah, flexing on these bitches in my new designers. Yeah, I know you don't like me, I don't know who you are.
It's Growler Boy, yeah. I too happy you came my way. Oh, da. Soon on day break like your face, I wanna see. I just wanna be loving you. That's just how I wanna be. I will ride for you like Gange. Now I want you, you not pamble. I love you, don't tante. Oh, got me singing like morning, oh, morning, baby. I just wanna sing morning, oh, morning, baby. Wrote a song for you, yeah, yeah. Morning, oh, morning, baby. I'm in love with you. Morning, oh, morning, baby. When you smile, the whole world freeze. Oh, da. When you pose, no need to say cheese. Oh, no. Your beauty, that newsletter and carry the cheese. Oh, yeah. No competition, you take it with ease. Put that, you not put that on my heart, oh. For nobody, wherever your spot, oh. Morning, oh, morning, baby. Morning, oh, morning, baby. Morning, oh, morning, baby. Morning, oh, morning, baby. Ellie with my bone, I won't pour you in glass. Oh yeah. Fly time, man, I'll touch you when you pass. fun like a man and go Ada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You too metro, you not like fries. You my era, the new thing. Go for big party in the daily, oh. Me I like good thing. Me I like good thing. Let people don't want you, oh. Morning, baby. I just wanna sing. Morning, baby. Got a song for you, yeah, yeah. Morning, baby. Morning, baby. I'm in love with you. Hold on. King Java, see you, papi.